Hey there, fellow watchers. It's that time of the week again, Born to Watch. And today is another milestone, 100 episodes. Gents, how are we feeling?
Oh,
Excellent. 100 episodes. Can't
100.
believe it.
We're waiting for our letter from the king.
absolutely. Yeah. I hope you should have a party like Bilbo Baggins.
One ring to rule them all.
Yeah.
That's it. It's incredible to think we've made it to 100. But to have done 99 episodes and not to have reviewed Jaws is almost sacrilegious. Quentin Tarantino believes this is the greatest movie ever made. But actually, the shoot started without a script, without a cast, and unbelievably, without a shark. A movie savant named Steven Spielberg was given the reins of what initially was thought to be a B-grade genre film and created a cinematic masterpiece that not only created the blockbuster, but changed the movie industry forever. Jaws is one of the three movies that I believe I have the longest viewing relationship with. Along with Star Wars and Willy Wonka, these three movies alone are responsible for my love of film. And Jaws is without a doubt the real reason that I have lived by the beach for my whole life and never really took advantage of it. Now we're going sharking. And joining me on the Orca is G-Man. Welcome, mate.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, 100 episodes. Wow. This is great.
Who would have thought, Gow, that when we sat in that room and fucked it up the first time around, that we'd be here 99 episodes later?
We did Top Gun.
We did Maverick.
That first time straight after the cinema too. Now 100 episodes later.
Yeah.
Is Willy Wonka a movie you've seen the most?
I think it's
out of all these?
no. I think no.
Well, top three, you said?
No, I think it's the one that I have the longest viewing relationship with.
Right.
So it's a movie that I probably watched at my youngest, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So
gotcha.
I think that, so I think that this Star Wars and Willy Wonka, those three, I've viewed for the longest. Damo,
Hey, how you going?
good mate. You good?
I'm very good. Yeah. Once again, excited for number 100. I'm not as excited as you.
No.
But yes, certainly excited. Now, last week I started with an incredible stat. Or it's actually 2 weeks ago with Rocky. Remember that I said that Philadelphia,
I do remember.
it's short. Well, people say Philly for short.
Well, we used it last
It was an
week.
incredible-
We used it last week in Shooter as well.
We did.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was it. I'm going to start with another incredible stat about sharks. Sharks will only attack humans when they're wet. And it's true.
That's true.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done some research.
Okay.
thank
You're all over it.
I'm like a
You've gone to
scientist.
great lengths.
You're
I'm like a
Attenborough.
scientist. Yeah.
You're Attenborough-esque.
Yes.
Attenborough-esque.
Yeah. And there's a lot more of that where that came from.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. Okay, so but first, as I was watching this I'm not going to give it away, but for the umpteenth time this week, I had to draw parallels between the three main characters and us, and the three of us.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to allocate us.
Shit,
I'm going
who
to
am I gonna
allocate
be?
us each a character
Yep.
and see what you think. So Hooper, Damo,
Dreyfus.
yeah, the clown,
The intelligent one.
intelligent,
one, yeah.
The
but
one with the balls to get into the
funny,
cage.
but willing to do the impossible.
Bearded. Well,
Well,
not really me.
Sandy,
And in the book, he had an affair with the wife.
yeah, absolutely, with Ellen Brody.
Yeah.
So then Chief Brody is, of course, G-Man, stoic,
Oh, okay. You're the
you know,
chief.
the facts guy,
Schneider.
Nice.
the silent assassin,
Scheider.
Roy Scheider. Same nose.
Yeah. Gets slapped in
Wait,
the
he's
face
a
a
bit
lot.
of a similar.
He's got a Scheider nose.
Scheiderish nose.
Got a
Yeah.
Scheider nose.
Lookalikes coming up.
There we go. There we go. Dang, bang. And Quint, me, obviously, the unhinged captain.
Wow. Yes. You are,
stubborn.
yeah. Yep.
Uh,
Absolutely.
You know, this is my ship, and just do as you're fucking told.
Well, that's the rules of the sea,
Grizzled
isn't it?
veteran.
You know what I mean? The captain of the ship.
Grizzled veteran. Yeah, I'm definitely grizzled.
He was like, he's about 48 when he filmed.
Prone
this.
to a headband.
And he could pull it off.
How good was his
Oh,
headband?
how good was the
He pulled
band?
that look off,
headband?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so that's it. We all agree, though? We think that's pretty fair
I'm
assessment?
happy to be Dreyfus. I was hoping I might be the shark. But anyway.
No, there's none of us are
Yeah,
Bruce.
okay.
None of us are as
Oh,
ruthless as Bruce.
Where does Morgs fit in?
Oh, where does Morgs fit in? He doesn't.
He looked like a young.
He's the mayor. He's the mayor.
He is. He's Larry Vaughan because he's a scumbag you just want to punch in the face. Always letting people down.
Oh, who's better, like Mayor Vaughan or Mayor Quimby?
Hey, which one's Mayor Quimby?
Simpsons.
Oh, shit, yeah.
But Morgs could be Bruce because they're about the same size nose.
They do.
Oh, jeez.
Bruce got a hell of a nose.
Yeah.
So does Morgs.
Got some big choppers too, Bruce.
So what I thought we'd do is take attendance for the 100 episodes and just see where we sit. For the core 4, we're leaving our visitors and guests
Oh,
out.
you're marking the roll.
Marking the roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start with Damo.
Present.
40 eps.
Oh, I am on 40.
40 eps. Only came on full-time at the 50th episode, which was Star Wars.
Right.
Okay? So you've done quite well.
Bloody oath.
40 out of 50. But you did do 6 or 7 before the 40th.
Yeah.
Before the 50th episode.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So-
I had some warm-ups.
So you've done well. So well done.
Oh, thanks.
Dan, 69 episodes.
69.
It's a good number.
Yeah.
Dan's in the day. Dan prefers that in the day.
The Bill and
69 in the day.
with a man.
Yeah. Twin dongs. G-Man,
Yep.
where do you reckon you sit?
I was
Now,
gonna
you were amazing probably up until
He's really slackened off.
4 months ago.
Yeah, I'm thinking around the 80 mark.
Yeah, I'd go
83.
that.
83.
83 episodes.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice work.
That's
yeah.
good, though.
That's not bad. That's not
83%.
bad.
That's an A.
That's an A.
That's an
We'll
A.
take that.
Hey.
Now, Whitey, for you, Greenie,
Well,
this is for Canuck Greenie. I'm just
Canada.
always here.
You are.
100.
The backbone. The
This is it.
vertebra. The backbone, the captain. Yep. 100.
Thank you.
Raise the bat.
He's,
There
the,
we go.
he's the veteran.
Don Bradman, raise your bat.
That's it.
Yep.
Okay, now back onto the movies. Enough about licking ourselves out. Overs and unders. Now, Jaws came out in 1975. It's 50 years old next year.
Wow. Well, yeah, that's incredible because Rocky was pretty old, but this is older.
This is older.
Yeah.
1 year older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's heaps older.
Well,
Like
it is. The difference.
If you're 4 years old, and then your mate's 5 going to school, there's a big difference.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Pubes. I was only 2 or 3 years off pubes.
Only you.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
only 2 or 3 years
I
off.
was about
pubes.
20 years off them.
Yeah. Still not there. Still not there.
Still wearing a merkin.
Okay, so we are now looking. Still wearing a merkin. What colour's your merkin?
Strawberry blonde.
Okay, yeah, nice.
It's got the carpet has to make
The merkin has to match the drapes. Okay, so overs and unders, 75. One of the movies I'm sure we all grew up with. It was difficult not to see this.
or even not to have heard of it.
Yeah, or not- exactly.
Just Jaws.
Yep.
It's iconic.
It's iconic.
Did anybody ever go in a pool when they were young and not do the music?
Oh yeah.
No, or
put the-
everybody.
the
did.
little-
the leg up,
yeah.
the leg up, the Chrissy Watkins leg up.
Or no, we'll just put your hand as a
Yeah,
fin.
yeah. Okay, good. I'm setting the overs and unders here at 55.
Yeah, I'm going to be close.
55. We're going to start with G-Man. Over under 55.
I'd be over 55. This,
Yes.
like you said, this movie when we were young was always around, and it was always something we watched. Not so much in recent years, but I'd be somewhere in the 60 to 70 range.
Okay,
For
and
me,
so do you remember when you first saw it?
I don't remember. I was thinking about this the other day. I don't remember when I first saw it, but I just remember it always being around. I always knew about it. I mean, it came out right when we were born. So
Yeah.
I don't remember the first time I saw it, although I do remember being extremely terrified of it.
Yeah. Damo, where do you sit?
Well, as I said, 55 was close. Just take away one of the 5s.
Okay.
And I'm on 5.
You've seen this movie 5 times.
Yeah, but I've seen Jaws
5
2 and I've seen the other
times.
ones. There's a lot of Jaws watching.
Are you counting them all into one?
Just
In a total
5
Jaws,
times.
a total Jaws count.
You know, this is like millions of souls have screamed out and were suddenly silenced. This is the
It's
death of
Alderaan.
Alderaan. This is the death of Alderaan.
you forgot.
Sloan Nixon is going to tear you a new one.
I'm used to that.
Yeah, it's-
You were the
That's
only
stock standard.
person.
Another
You were
week.
the only person.
5 times is a lot. I can almost quote every line in the movie.
Do you remember the first time you saw it?
I
Or do you
reckon-
remember when you saw it?
No, I don't. I
Okay.
think it's TV. I've watched it on TV.
Okay, so that's what I'm. So I reckon I have seen Jaws conservatively 500 times.
Conservatively.
Now, and let me explain that number because people go, you've seen something.
1,000
You've seen
hours.
something 500 times.
1,000 hours. That's what, like 20 something days worth of watching.
So I know it's wasted. It's wasted youth. If I reckon I've watched Jaws this year 4 times.
Good grief!
Right now, I watched it twice for this podcast, and then I'd watched it a couple times before that, obviously, to get to 4. Now, this was a movie that I could easily put on in the video shop at night, right?
Yep.
I could easily put this movie on the video. Molly, fuck off upstairs. Go.
Oh, head down.
Look at
Molly.
that dog's not really. Oh no, he's just going to plant himself there. Actually, do the complete opposite to what he says.
Fuck with dog.
Well trained.
Wish it was Pippet.
Goddamn Pippet.
This
yeah, Pippet was a shit dog.
We'll get to Pippet.
Yeah,
Hang on, we'll
okay.
get to Pippet. This is a movie I could very easily put on at night in the video shop and just have on in the background. So I'm going to cheat and say that over those 500 times, not all of them been all the way through, but I've viewed parts of this movie at least 500 times. As a kid, this was a go-to movie for me. So I remember this would have been taped off the TV, same as Star Wars and same as Willy Wonka.
Yep.
They would have been taped, and there would have been a do not tape over sign on these.
Oh, you would have. Oh, because look, for me, I'll record it once it's watched. Then it was open slather for anyone in the family to record over it.
No, this was a do not tape over.
Well, we had like 2 or 3 180-minute tapes in our whole family, blank ones. So we had to rotate. We couldn't keep.
No, I kept.
There was no
there
rotation.
were movies that
Yeah.
were kept. It was the
no-
start.
There was no keeping in our
It
house.
was the start
Yeah.
of my affinity with keeping physical media.
Yeah.
So this was one that was very easily in the afternoon after school that we'd have the kids from the street would come over and we'd watch Jaws, right? And I remember one of my, when you have certain memories and they are 4K, we talk about that when they're clear as a bell.
That's our
I'm using it now. I'm using it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep.
So this is a 4K memory for me. I remember sitting in my lounge room watching the movie with a couple of the boys from the street, and the pond scene comes where the shark bites his leg off.
Yep.
And my mate sitting next to me just rubbing his leg.
Oh, it referred pain.
Yeah.
It's
Just
like,
rubbing his leg.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So I've distinct memories of that and I've seen this movie, and it was a movie that I could very easily watch every day of the afternoon after school. Seriously.
Like the
loved
whole
it.
movie?
Yeah.
Mate, yeah, okay. No, look,
Loved it.
we are on a completely different level here with you. Absolutely do just live and breathe this movie.
I love this movie. And
Yeah.
and it's funny, this movie, like if I talk about, I guess, movies that have affected me and have caught this and Star Wars, it's a photo finish for my favorite movie of all time.
Yep.
That's and like everyone, anyone that knows me or has known me on the periphery, and they talk about Whitey and movies, they would say Star Wars,
Yes.
right? So at footy, like it was Star Wars. I
Yep.
was known for Star Wars,
Yep.
and that's great. And because
Yep.
Star Wars is my favorite movie,
Yep.
but it's a fucking photo finish between this film.
Well, I'm just sitting here. This is in your sort of little man cave.
Yep.
What is there? How many? There's videos. There's VHS. There's DVDs. There's the Peter Benchley book.
Yep.
There's some other book. I just thought
Yep.
you thought was safe.
Just when you thought it was
right
safe,
behind me, there's a big Jaws poster.
yeah. And I'm going to get to
I
that.
can count at least 10 Jaws paraphernalia here.
Yeah. So
Just quickly.
And there's a severed leg there.
there is, but there's and you're right. So there's a couple things that there's the books. So there's the novel, which was the first real book I ever bought. That there, looking at us there, that Jaws novel, I bought that for 20 cents at a book fair at Warriewood Square.
So that novel has the same image from the movie. Is that-
Almost.
but
That's not the original.
So I was about to say, what's
not
the
the
original
original.
novel cover?
The original is like that, but it's a more of a rounded shark. It's not that pointed
But
shark.
is it that same shark with the swimmer above it?
Yes.
On the original
On the original
novel.
novel.
Okay.
Yeah. And what happened is that they then hired the artist to do the film poster, who came up then with the one that you see, the iconic
Yeah, with a little
ones.
bit more teeth, a
With
little
the
bit
teeth,
more,
yes.
little bit more angry looking.
I love the size perspective too on that.
Yeah,
compared to the
it's a
person.
big shark.
It's a big shark.
It's a big shark.
Actually, the girl's length is just the width of the shark.
Yes. Yeah. It's a big shark. Now, this movie, I got to see it at the cinema.
Oh,
I got to see it when they released the 40th anniversary Blu-ray, when they released the Blu-ray on the 40th anniversary of the film. The Randwick Ritz showed Jaws in the Blu-ray in the 4K restoration,
okay.
or in the Blu-ray restoration. I bought tickets. Megan and I went and saw it. There were 400 people in Randwick Ritz watching Jaws. It was like we were watching for the first time.
Yep.
It was fucking incredible.
Yep.
When Ben Gardner's head comes into the bottom
in the boat, yeah.
the place screamed. It was like people were seeing this movie.
It's a good jump scare.
It's a good jump scare.
Yeah.
Done after the fact.
Yes.
Done after the fact.
Yeah.
In a swimming pool.
Oh,
It
was
done in a swimming pool. There's this book, The Jaws Log, which was written by Carl Gottlieb, who was an actor. He played Harry Meadows, and he came on as an actor, but then was then charged with actually helping to write, because this movie was written on the fly. The script was written on the fly.
Yeah, but there's a whole book to source from.
There is, but they changed it.
Yeah,
They left a lot out.
Yeah,
They changed it a lot, right?
Yeah.
So it was written on. But then you've got, so this is again one of these movies that I've got the book, the VHS, the DVD, the Blu-ray, the 4K. I've got 2 books about the making of it. I've got a mug over there.
Yeah, the coffee cup.
I've got countless documentaries that I watch on Plex, which is The Shark Isn't Working and The Making of Jaws, all this kind of stuff. This is, and we can't forget, there's also thing that made me, I guess, probably love the movie more was that Australian link with Ron and Valerie Taylor, right?
And Peter Benchley.
And the real shark footage and stuff that they filmed. And
Oh,
so
okay.
there's
Is Valerie Taylor in this for a second? Like when they show when they're looking at there's a little shot of a girl swimming with a shark in some scene.
I don't think so. I don't think she's in it.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't think she's in it. Anyway, so it's been a long relationship with Jaws. I'm looking forward to talking more about it.
We know you are.
You're going to have to stop me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But as Quint,
yes, Quint,
you may
you're
not
the
be able
captain.
to.
You're the
You may
captain.
not be able to.
Yep.
G-Man, why don't you tell us about Jaws?
Okay, I got a couple of taglines here for you. Amity Island had everything: clear skies, gentle surf, warm water. People flocked there every summer. It was the perfect feeding ground.
But the surf was below. It was
the other
shit.
one.
Shit, sir.
And the other one was
Nothing.
on the 4th of July, fishing season will open on you. All right.
Scary.
So, when the seaside community of Amity finds itself under attack by a dangerous great white shark, the town's chief of police, a young marine biologist, and a grizzled shark hunter veteran embark on a desperate quest to destroy the beast before it strikes again. Featuring an unforgettable score that evokes pure terror, Jaws remains one of the most influential and gripping adventures in motion picture history.
Nice.
Yeah, nice one, G-Man.
No disagreement there.
No,
No, agree, guys.
absolutely.
Agree.
Agree, guys.
There we
all
go.
around
Very
the same.
early.
First
Yeah.
agree.
Very early. Okay, let's watch the trailer.
From the best-selling novel, Jaws. Rated PG. Maybe too intense for younger children.
PG, hey?
Maybe too intense.
Maybe too intense for younger children.
Yeah, that's a good.
If you,
How good's his voice?
it's a good voice.
Created
If-
the devil.
If you saw that in a cinema in 1975, I'm lining up then.
Oh, definitely.
That's one of the best trailers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like honestly, the opening with the shark like motif
Yeah.
with that's the opening scene.
It's the opening scene. Yeah.
And then just the guy's voice. Then the vulnerability of looking up at the legs
Yes.
swimming in the you just see how vulnerable we are. The hell was that?
G-Man's here.
my phone taking a run off the
Yeah,
table.
just seeing those legs swimming, you
Yes.
just see how because we can't see what's underneath.
No.
And then she gets a little nibble, obviously, and then another little nibble, and that is a terrifyingly brilliant
when
trailer.
when they get taken down, like that's is that someone?
No, that's you still, Gear.
No, I thought someone worked there.
No. No.
All right, can we start again?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's-
Go. Talk about the vulnerability.
You want me to go back to that?
Yeah, because he broke everything.
All right. And that the legs swimming in the ocean.
Yes.
Right. So looking up, and you can see that we're swimming. We can't see what's down, and their legs are just flailing in the water, and we are so vulnerable.
Yeah.
That
Well,
just
that's the fear,
freaks
isn't it?
us. So terrifying. You have no idea what's under there.
You have no idea what's below you.
Well, that's part of the perspective that Spielberg uses. I'm sure we'll get to that later. I'm
Yes.
sure
Yeah,
Whitey's got a bit on
absolutely.
that.
That is. You're right. The perspective that
Yeah.
Spielberg gives us. That's spot on.
And a lot of that perspective was forced on him, and we'll get to that as
Yeah.
well,
Okay.
which is
For the better.
for the magic of the film.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, critical thinking. IMDb rates this 8.1 out of 10. Now, this is in the top 250. I just know it is.
Should be.
Yeah, and it should be. And it should rate higher than 8.1. Tomato meter, certified fresh, 97% on the tomato meter
Whoa.
and a 90% audience score. So it rates very, very highly.
Super high, yeah. Well, I mean, this is one of the biggest movies of all time. So it should. I'm quite surprised at the 8.1.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
I don't
that's
know how they get that.
well,
Probably modern
I
audience.
think it's
maybe?
modern audiences
Yeah.
for sure.
Right.
It's not just jam-packed action from the word go.
But it is sort of action. I mean, the opening scene,
Well, yeah, it is. But then
you know,
obviously,
then it's straight into
they've
it.
got
I
to
mean,
work
it's-
out. Then they've got to work out what it is and
But
what's going on.
but I paid real close attention this time, and every scene is fucking incredible.
it contributes.
Every
yeah.
scene, there is no fat on this
It's-
film at all.
No.
Totally, yeah.
It is every scene moves the plot forward.
Yeah.
Every scene there is something you can go.
tells part of the story.
Yeah, like
Yep.
it's so well crafted. Okay, couple reviews. Now I've got a good review here for the 100th episode.
Oh, we need him back. Is he?
He's
in?
got to be back.
Oh, of course.
And we're ready?
Yep.
30 Dominelli. Oh, I reckon that's our best one today.
Yeah, that was good.
That was good. James Baradinelli, our man from Real Views. When it comes to this kind of thriller, no movie has been able to top Jaws, although many have tried. And as the years go by, it seems increasingly unlikely that anything will come close.
Yeah, James,
Yeah.
you're definitely on it. And I think,
On the ball there, 30.
and looking at the stuff that's coming out now, nothing will come close.
Nothing's going to come close.
When they've got to stop getting Chat GBT to stop writing scripts. No, nothing will come close to this.
I don't think anything will come close because Sloan hit it last week on practical and real effects. Even though it's quite obvious that the shark is not real,
That's pretty good.
it's irrelevant. It's all the other stuff. And the practicality of it actually adds to it.
Yeah.
Well, they don't use the shark a lot.
No, they
Like,
don't.
When the two guys go off the pier, you know, and you don't see the shark, you
Yeah.
just see the bit of the pier coming
Can we
back
go
in.
home now?
Yeah, so it's just all of that is just leading into the terror and suspense, right? But it's not
Yeah.
actually showing the shark.
No, it's masterful movie.
But I
making.
don't think, even if I did see the full shark, I wasn't thinking, oh, it looks like some animatronic piece
No.
of shit.
No.
It looked pretty good.
Looks pretty good.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I got Josh, my eldest, to watch this with me last night, and he loved it.
Oh, did he?
And I said to him, this movie will stand the test of time. Like even though it's
Yeah,
you know, it's
that's the new
1975,
generation. Yeah,
you still get all the scare, all of it, like
Yep.
all the terror. Like
Yep.
it's not. It doesn't look like an old movie where you're missing out.
no, that's
Brilliant.
cool.
It's brilliant. Okay, I got a bad review. Charles Champlin
Dickhead.
of the LA Times.
Charlie Chaplin.
Exactly.
It's him.
It is a coarse-grained and exploitive work which depends on excess for its impact. Sure, it's a bore, awkwardly staged and lumpily written. Is he kidding himself, this guy?
Is he Anakin Skywalker? I don't like sand. It's all coarse and grainy.
I'll tell you
And
what,
it
he'd
gets
be
everywhere.
he'd be a barrel of laughs to hang out with, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Charlie Champlin.
Champlin?
Move on,
On your
champ.
champ.
Move on, champ.
He is a quintessential champ.
Chump.
Jump.
That old bud. He's a champ or a bud.
Maybe he's a pal.
He might be a pal.
About Bud Bundy.
G-Man. Ordinary people. Not many in this one.
No, quick cast. So let's have a quick look through. We'll start with Roy Scheider. Now, his film career commenced with a Z-grade horror. What's known as a Z-grade horror cheese fest.
Z-grade. Wow.
That's
Z-grade.
a long way down the
The
alphabet.
Curse of the Living Corpse in 1964. After that, he was in Clute in 71
Oh, with Jane Fonda.
with Jane Fonda and Donald Sutherland.
She looked great in that
Really?
movie.
I
Yep.
don't even know it. Yeah.
And then moved on in 71 as well into The French Connection, played Buddy
Ooh,
Russo with Gene Hackman. Got a Best Actor nom for that.
Great movie, The French Connection.
Yeah.
So good.
He was offered the lead role in The Omen in 76, though, and was really interested in taking that role, but turned it down because he had some other commitments. But he wanted to play that type of a role, like a noble sort of hero. So that led to him taking the role of Martin Brody in Jaws,
Right.
which I'm sure skyrocketed his career, obviously.
Yep.
After that, he was in Marathon Man 76 with Dustin Hoffman. Jaws 2 in 78. He was in All That Jazz in 79 with Jessica Lange. He got a Best Actor nom and BAFTA nom for that as well.
Jazz hands.
He was in 83. He was in Blue Thunder. We've talked about Blue
Yeah.
Thunder.
Oh,
I
helicopter.
fucking love Blue
Every
Thunder.
kid loved that movie.
Lord, a movie.
Yeah.
It was great, wasn't it?
What a great movie. Jaffo.
Rainmaker in 97 with Matt Damon and Claire
Yeah,
Danes.
yeah.
John Voight, directed by Francis Ford Coppola.
He plays the owner of the president of the company that they're suing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
He's in Daybreak in 2000 with Ted McGinley.
Oh,
Ted McGinley.
Yeah.
Ted McGinley.
Ace from Hey Hey It's Sad. I mean,
Happy
Happy
Days.
Days. Happy Days.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, it's Happy Days.
Yes.
But he was also
He's in Revenge of the Nerds.
and he was in Married with Children next
yeah,
door.
yeah,
Neighbours.
he was. He was the next door neighbor.
Married Marcy Darcy.
Yeah, then they had the other bloke too, the dark-haired one here as well.
Oh yes, the husband for
Yeah.
Oh,
before
yep,
him.
yep.
Anyway, he was in Sequest DSV. as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
he
right.
was too.
He was in that. Passed away sadly in 2008.
Yeah, he was about. Did he make it? He was in his 60s or was he?
I think he was older than that.
Yeah, he was
in
old. He
his
was in his
70s?
70s.
He's
Yeah.
in his 70s. Yeah.
Good innings.
Yeah.
Look, I'll give you a bit of a sliding doors with him. He was originally cast as
Love
Mi-
a gas sliding
He
doors.
loves it.
Yeah.
Love it. He was originally cast as Michael Vronsky in The Deer Hunter, which is Robert De
Oh.
Niro's role.
Wow.
Right.
But
Okay.
that was the second of a 3-movie deal he did with Universal Studios. But he didn't believe the character would travel around the world to find his friend, so he quit the picture and wasn't taken very well. Didn't go down well at Universal, but they agreed to let him out of it if he made Jaws 2, which he
Ah.
obviously did. So
I thought he went on to do to form the band the Vronsky Beat.
TV. But yeah, apparently he said that pulling out of The Deer Hunter was a career decision he most regrets, which I could totally understand.
Look, most people regret pulling out.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
doubt. Feels a lot better staying in.
Thank you for that. I have
But,
no idea what you're talking about.
But Steven Spielberg said, like in his biography, Steven Spielberg said that Robert Duvall was one that encouraged him to make this movie, and in return, Spielberg offered Duvall the role of Brody,
Mm.
but he turned it down.
He wanted
after
Quint.
it.
I think he wanted to be Quint.
Well, he did. Then he said, "I want to play Quint."
Yeah.
And Spielberg said to him, "You're too young."
Yes.
Yeah.
because he needed, and obviously Robert Shaw plays that role very, very well.
Yeah. But he wasn't the first pick. He wasn't this massive casting. Still, Spielberg could not get anyone that he wanted to go in this movie.
But there was a couple of people he wanted, and I think a couple of them were too big a star.
Mm.
And he wanted someone like Roy Scheider, who was an underwhelmed hero, I guess you'd call it. You know, like not someone that was already a big action star
Established, yeah.
that you think, oh, you know, they're going to win the day here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
So he
yeah,
wanted
yeah.
someone that was a bit more unassuming. All right, let's move on to Robert Shaw. So he did a ton of theatre and stage work prior to his movie debut. He was born in 1927, I think. So I did a lot there. He had a small role in the Dam Busters.
Yeah, I love that
Mate,
movie.
he could do a war movie, this guy.
The Dam Busters
I was going to say,
is one of the great movies
the,
of all
great
time.
the
movie.
war movies that this guy's in is just, they're awesome.
Well, because he's also in
Battle of the Bulge.
yeah, Battle of
Colonel
Bulge.
Hessler.
Colonel
Yeah,
Hessler.
Hessler.
Yeah,
He's,
he's
in the
awesome.
Battle of Britain
Yep.
Yeah.
as the squadron leader.
Yep.
And he was in Force 10 from Navarone.
Yeah.
What a
movie.
Mallory.
What a
So
movie.
apart from that, he was in From Russia with Love. With,
Yeah,
he
he's
played
a
Donald
great
Grant.
henchman.
Yeah,
One of
he's
the
a
great
henchman.
henchmen.
And he was obviously also in The Sting. Great role in The
Yeah,
Sting. with Doyle.
Lonergan.
Yeah, Lonergan.
Yeah. And they
They
shafted
rip him off.
Yeah. That's
He's
a
a
good
wanker.
movie, The Sting.
Yeah, he's
I
a
love
great
Yeah,
The
movie.
great.
Sting.
I was watching that not long ago. It happened to be
Yeah.
on. Jesus, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, after that, he was in Avalanche Express with Lee Marvin and Linda Evans in '79. That was his
Yep.
last movie. It came out in '79, but he passed away on August 28th, 1978.
Raging-
heart attack,
Raging alcoholic.
raging alcohol.
54, I think he
Yeah,
was.
he's way too young.
So he filmed Jaws when he was 48. Or maybe he's younger than 54.
Drunk
75.
the whole
No,
time.
He's 51. He's 51 then. I think
He might have been, yeah.
he's young.
Young, way young.
He did a lot, but yeah, died. Yeah,
Scotch will get you in the
to
end.
die in the 70s. You go, holy shit, he died a long time ago.
But yeah, so look, his performance as Quint is ranked number 28 on Premiere Magazine's 100 greatest movie characters of all time.
Right.
And he was quite a sportsman. He played rugby for London Wasps.
Oh, did he?
Okay.
Yeah, because he lived overseas for quite. He ended up living in Ireland. That's where he lived when he passed away. But he was apparently a real squash enthusiast, and also says he was,
Squash.
and he was also an expert swordsman.
Gentry Khan.
Oh,
He's
An
quite
expert
the swordsman.
swordsman.
Quite the swordsman.
I
yeah.
reckon he would have been quite a swordsman
Yeah.
with that blonde hair.
I was like when he's Colonel Hessler.
Right,
He
would
looked
have
like the Aryan race.
slaying.
Yeah. The master
Absolutely
race.
slaying.
Okay, we'll move on to Damo, Richard Dreyfuss.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
that's me. Yeah.
He had an uncredited role as a boarding house resident in The Graduate with Dustin Hoffman in
Hello,
1967.
my dear friend.
Simon and Garth.
But what brought him in the spotlight? He was in the movie Dillinger in '73, and he played Babyface Nelson. And after that sort of got him a bit of attention. His first really big role was in American Graffiti.
Yeah.
Yep. Super cool movie.
Yeah,
One of
You
my
really
favorites.
love American
I
Graffiti,
love
don't
American
you?
Graffiti.
I haven't seen that, I reckon, for 35 years.
Oh, it's all the
I
cars.
have
are
to go
just
back
brilliant.
and watch it.
yeah, it's a great movie.
I love it.
Obviously, he was in Jaws in '75. Now, after that, he did Close Encounters of the Third
Yeah,
Kind.
and that's
Charles
another
Neary, great
absolute,
movie.
Roy Neary.
unbelievably good movie.
But 77. And then he was in The Goodbye Girl in '77 as well. Now, he's a Best Actor. That's where he won his Best Actor Oscar.
Okay.
So he was actually at age 30, the youngest person or youngest man to win an Oscar for Best Actor in The
Awesome.
Goodbye Girl. He was only succeeded by Adrian Brody for The Pianist in 2003, and he won it at 29.
Pianist.
Other than that, he was in Down and Out in Beverly Hills in '86 with Nick the Nuttup,
Oh, Nolts.
yeah, and Bette Midler.
Old Nolts.
He was in Stand By Me as the writer in '86.
Yeah.
Stakeout,
Stakeout's a good movie.
yeah, great movie.
Yeah.
That is
Stakeout 2,
awesome.
not so good.
No, Stakeout 2 is good as well.
Yeah,
I
it's
reckon
not as good
good.
as the first one.
No, I reckon Stakeout 2 is pretty funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
I like
first
them
one's
both.
great.
Yeah.
But he was also in What About Bob in '91 and Mr. Holland's Opus, obviously
Yeah.
Best Actor nom in 1995. He announced after in 2004 he stopped acting in films and went back to the theatre, but he's actually just finished a movie called Sweetwater.
Oh.
So that's a movie
Bit of
about
coke.
the I think it's the first black NBA star, which with Jeremy Piven.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go. Are we going to talk about Steven Spielberg?
You have to. You have to.
You got anything there on Spielberg yet?
Oh, mate, we've talked about Spielberg before.
Yeah.
But it's, mate, his first hit was Sugarland Express. And obviously this was right after it.
Yep.
Mate, he's done
Jewel.
Well, he did Jewel for TV.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jewel was a TV
was not
movie.
released on the movies.
No, it was a TV film,
Oh.
which then got, after
It was
Jaws,
a Netflix.
then got sort of re-released.
Right.
Yeah.
But Sugarland Express was his first real big hit. I mean, he did Savage in '73. Jaws and Close Encounters of the Third Kind that cemented him.
yeah.
And then he was gone.
Then he's away.
Then he's
So-
Raiders of the Lost Ark, 84,
Yeah.
E.T.,
Yeah.
81, E.T., 82, Twilight Zone, 83.
So I reckon up until the mid 2000s.
Yep.
Up to 2010. It's an incredible filmography. He has some misses, but they're few and far between. He was without a doubt my favorite director. Hands down, quite easily, my favorite director. He's probably been superseded now because I'm probably a bit older, and I'd say probably Tarantino would be my favorite director now.
Yeah.
But I know you're not a Tarantino guy, Damo. I know you're not a
It's
Tarantino
chalk
guy.
and cheese.
But in terms of a filmography, it's so diverse and so good.
Good movies.
So good.
Hit
He knew how to make a hit.
Yeah. But those years, it was
In
like,
the 80s, he was unstoppable.
yeah, it was Spielberg Lucas.
Yeah.
It was Spielberg Lucas, and it reminded me of Jack Palance in Tango and Cash. Ray Tango has done it again. If it's not Tango, it's Cash. It's Cash,
Yeah,
Tango,
yeah,
Tash,
yeah.
Tango, Cash, Cash, Tango. It's Spielberg Lucas, Lucas Spielberg, Spielberg Lucas, Spielberg Lucas.
Yeah.
Spielberg, like through those 80s,
So,
it was,
mate,
as those two just dueling.
But you talk
Just
about the
bang,
80s,
bang,
the
bang.
90s, Jurassic Park, Schindler's
Yeah.
List,
Oh, yeah, keeps going.
Saving Private Ryan,
Mate, he's unbelievable.
Catch Me If You Can,
Yeah.
War of the Worlds, Munich.
Yeah.
Like, he's just amazing.
Minority Report.
He-
Yeah,
AI.
Ready Player One. I mean, that's,
yeah,
that's more
I
recent.
I
Far
love
out.
that movie.
Mate, he's a legend.
Yeah,
Love him.
superstar.
Jewish Mafia. The Hollywood Jewish Mafia.
Yep.
And the only reason he gets the job on Jaws is because of Sid Sheinberg, who was the head of the
Oh, okay.
the
Well, it's not much-
studio, and it's all who you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know what? You still got to be able to
They
back it
made
up.
the right choice.
You got to be able to back it up.
Yeah.
Well, Sid Sheinberg was Lorraine Gary
Husband,
and
yes.
still married. Yeah.
Well, that's how she got the gig.
Well, yeah. I mean, she
Right.
honestly,
So that's Brody's wife.
But
Yep.
again, another
Yellow Brody.
casting that they had no cast, and they're on the island, and they're like, "Oh well,
Anyone
you know,
around?
Sid's wife acts.
Oh,
She don't have a bad rack. We'll
She-
get her in."
she'd done some TV. She'd done Kojak, Ironside, Marcus Welby, MD. But
Is that the sequel to Trapper John, MD?
it could be.
Marcus Welby. Yeah.
But she did Jaws 2, and then Jaws: The Revenge. She came out of voluntary
Wow.
retirement to do that in 87, but hasn't acted in anything since.
Now,
Right.
in honor of this movie, we're going to try not to mention any of the sequels.
Yeah.
Jaws 2 is passable.
Passable. Yeah.
Passable. Jaws 3 is not, and Jaws 4 is abysmal.
Hang on, that's the Michael Caine one.
And
right?
that is all we're going to talk about these sequels in this podcast, I think.
Yep.
Anything else, Jimmy? There's not much else in terms of the cast.
No.
No,
we
there's
talk
only
about.
there's only Morgs at Murray Hamilton.
Yes.
Born.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's exceptional in this movie.
Oh, he's
He
great.
plays his role.
He
great.
is exceptional.
You need to have.
He's
that-
going to win an award, I think,
Yeah.
on the podcast too.
Yes,
I think he
Oh,
probably would.
without a doubt.
Yeah, hands down.
But anyway, let's move on.
What about awards, G-Man?
Well, we'll go through the gross. So this
Yes.
gross 272.9 million domestically, 210 internationally, so 483.5 worldwide. It had a budget of $12 million, an opening weekend of 7.7. Now, the interesting thing about that is it opened only on 490 screens.
Yeah.
And within 78 days, it became the highest grossing film of all time.
Wow.
Even then, it was still showing in less than 1,000 screens.
Wow.
So that's crazy. That's how big it was.
But they stayed in the movies for months and months.
Oh, yeah.
like
Yeah, they
back
did.
Back in the
They
day.
did.
Yeah.
But so look, other 1975, we look at the awards. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest made the clean sweep of 5 major categories. So best picture, best actor, best actress, best director, and best screenplay.
Now, Spielberg wasn't even nominated for an Academy Award as director for this film, which is a fucking joke.
No,
Yeah.
It had a best picture nom.
The movie was nominated for Best
It
Picture.
won
It did
things.
win 3 Academy
Yeah.
Awards for technical stuff.
It got best score. John Williams got best
Well,
score.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And it had best sound and best film editing.
Yeah, and I think the editing is incredible in this movie.
Yeah.
But it's a travesty that Spielberg's not nominated for directing.
No.
And if they knew then the real story about what went on in
How
the making of
difficult.
this movie, you know, that sure, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is a masterpiece as well. But
Not a-
does it have the pop culture? Does it
no.
does it
A couple
survive?
of things, but no.
Yeah, I don't think it compares
No.
longevity wise with this movie.
But at this stage, this is his second real big movie, right?
It's his second
so
movie,
it's only
legitimate.
he's a relative unknown.
Yeah, for sure.
the,
so-
the Academy people wouldn't. Who's this bloke? Who's this young
Yeah, that's right.
whippersnapper?
That's right.
Yeah.
But look, money wise, at 483.5 million, it's the number one. It's the number one by far. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest did 163 million.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So and Shampoo was in third with
Warren
49
Beatty,
with
right.
49.5 million. So that's the disparity in money there. It's
So
crazy.
credited with creating the Blockbuster. Now, do you know? I think we've talked on the podcast about how they got to the term blockbuster.
Well, yeah,
It
but
was
go
about the
ahead.
lines,
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the lines that were busting the blocks.
Yeah.
They were like going through the blocks, and
Lining
so
up, yeah.
lining up, people lining up to see it. Now, it was just
And Summer too.
it was insane.
It wasn't normally movie.
No,
sort
well,
of,
this is where
prime
things
time.
it's where
Peak
things
season.
went to die because it was kids on holidays, and it was only this.
Yeah, and people didn't go to the movies
No.
in summer back then.
Yeah, so it changed again, created the Blockbuster, changed the way things were released, and made the summer a hit.
Yeah.
Spot to release your movies. And all because of how difficult a production it was it released at that time? It was supposed to be released 6 months earlier.
Yep.
And it gets released in the summer and blows the world away.
Yep.
You know, incredible. Anything else, G-Man?
No, that's it. We can keep moving from there.
Okay, well done. We'll go into 1975 hit, sleeper, and dud. Now, Damo, you've got the hit
I
for
go for hit.
1975.
Yep.
Interested to hear what you've got.
I'm going for a movie that I did mention once before. I'm going for Rollerball. with
Oh, James Caan.
It's the non-sports movie. It's about companies basically are, it's kind of like a big brother sort of thing.
Yeah.
But you work for the company tells you basically who to marry, what you got to do, where you go. They control everything. So they play sport for the companies. They have the national anthem thing is for the company's anthem for the teams they play for. And it's just basically a big brother dystopian future. And they created the game Rollerball to show to all the people in the world that it's stupid to try and be on your own and be an individual. You need to be as part of a group, part of a team. But James Caan was Jonathan.
Yes.
And Jonathan became this.
He's the hero.
He became Darren Lockyer. He became bloody whatever. Jonathan, he stood out in this game and he was the best in the game, which actually totally destroyed the whole premise of why they opened the game. So then they changed the game to try and get him killed during the game. So there was no rules and no penalties and no this and no whatever, because they wanted to take him out because his as an individual became greater.
Bigger than the game.
Greater than the company, bigger than everything. It was like people actually could be an individual and rise to the top. So they needed to then take him down. So it's an awesome movie. It's a long movie. But yeah, it's the non-sports movie.
Great cover. The
Yeah,
glove
yeah,
with the
really
spikes.
Spikes on it. Yep.
And I remember seeing that in the video shop and seeing the gloves with the spikes. One of those ones. Fuck, I can't wait till I can hire that.
Yeah. No,
I had to wait till I was 11 before they thought I was 18.
Well, I didn't understand the movie till recently when I watched it. I was like, I get it now.
Yeah.
I did not know. I thought it was a game about rollerball sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Okay, I've got the sleeper. It's not really a sleeper, but it probably was a sleeper at the time. Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
This is again, I got a good relationship with this movie. Obviously, my penchant for cross dressing.
Yes,
and
Frankenfurter.
and singing fishnet tights. It's my penchant.
Yeah.
I was losing it.
I'm thinking of Jack Black.
Well, oh, right. No,
For track lighting.
Sucking cock.
it's only funny because it's true.
Yeah. When did you figure out you were gay? Very funny, Jack Black. But we always know the newly engaged couple. They break down and they seek shelter at the residence of Frank Enfurter, Tim Curry. Incredible. It was a musical that became the movie, which was an absolute flop when it was released, and then became cult. Oh. And they still today have midnight screenings.
I was going to say,
people dress up.
Yeah, they go and dance at the front.
Unbelievably good soundtrack.
Can you do the time warp?
Well, it's just a jump to the left and a step to the right.
It's pretty basic.
With your hands on your hips, pull your knees in tight.
Is it?
And then the pelvic thrust.
Really
drives you insane.
Yeah. Okay, he's passed.
Yep. So one of the great soundtracks, one of the great fun movies. It is ridiculous. It is stupid, but I love it. And I watched it. It was one of these movies that it would be easy to watch. Megan used to get the shits. Be a Sunday afternoon, and they go, "What do you watch? Rocky Horror."
Oh, jeez.
And she ended up getting the shits. So then we watched probably Jaws.
Yeah.
Or Star Wars. So she was losing either way.
Yeah.
G-Man, what do you got for dud? Looking forward to this one.
Hard to find.
Well, no, that was hard to find. I mean,
you'll find
this
one.
is pre our movie watching day, so I had to dig deep here and find a couple that I would assume are duds. Now I'm gonna let you listen to this.
The assumption of dudness.
I want you to listen to the synopsis. This movie came out in 1975, an hour and a half, called Linda Lovelace for President.
Yeah, she's got my vote.
So here's the synopsis. An intentionally campy film designed to capitalize on Linda Lovelace's sudden fame following Deep Throat.
Yeah.
This film centers around Linda's fictional grassroots campaign to run for president. Touring the country with a ragtag team of strange and wacky people, hilarity supposedly ensues at every stop.
Supposedly?
Supposedly.
Mate, I heard that her campaign sucked.
Oh, jeez.
I see what you did there. The other one I found was an Australian movie, and it's actually called Pure Shit.
Right.
And
incredible.
And it actually it's the quick synopsis on this is
Was Bruce Spence in it?
it might have been. Sally McNee, Doc Smith. I don't know anyone. A group of Australian heroin addicts go out and try to score a hit after a friend overdoses.
Okay.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah.
So Australian film was quite dark and broody.
It's
Back then.
It says it's a black comedy. So anyway, doesn't sound great. Pure shit.
Couple of junkies,
Might be pure shit.
Bit racist.
Yeah.
Okay. Question time. G-Man always bringing the duds. I love it. We talked 2 weeks ago about the Rocky theme and where that sat. Where does the Jaws theme sit? This is going to be very angled at Damo.
Okay.
And so and then we're going to unpack that. And then the next bit of the question. And has there ever been a movie where the score plays such a poignant part in the success of the film?
Well, if we go back to Rocky, I mean, whenever you hear the Rocky themes, it's uplifting. It's
you want to get up and you
motivational,
want to punch.
and as soon as you hear it, you're like, oh, like to me when we watched it and I heard it, like the skin starts to tingle and you're like, right, that's
tears.
Rocky. It's awesome. It's really that's what that does to you. But in the same vein, Jaws does that, but just that opening deep sound, that bass sound, like it instantly evokes that fear because it comes back to you from your childhood, right? And I think it's so well known, like it is so. Everybody knows that tune.
Yep.
Everybody.
Yep. Is it the most well-known theme in the history of cinema?
It is the most iconic character. Now, leitmotifs can be about places, they can be about feelings, they can be about characters. But for a character, those two notes back and forth over and over, ominous and simple. It is the most iconic, the most brilliant, because anytime we hear these notes, we know the shark's near.
Yes.
Right. So they establish this in the first shot of the show, right? Even in that teaser trailer.
Absolutely.
Right. You just hear that. And they use that association through the rest of the film, right? So the shark, it is particularly crucial to get this right, because for a large portion of the film, as the shark is never seen, right? So the only way we know it's approaching is through sound.
Absolutely.
So not through sight. So we are relying on the sound. This is creating an even more terrifying effect. So it basically just shows the power, and I think, of the character leitmotif. So for the Jaws theme is the best. The overall score of the movie, I don't have it up there in my top. It's good.
Yeah.
But specifically the Sharks theme, the best, the most brilliant.
I think, and why I say is there a movie that relies so heavily because they didn't have the shark.
You can't see it.
So they needed something to alert the audience that there was something happening.
The sound is the character.
And that's the character. Yeah. And so I think that this movie does not work without it.
Oh, no way.
And it's nowhere near as successful without the theme.
No.
Well, Steven Spielberg said that, right? And we've covered that before, where when he first played that music to him, he laughed and he said, what are you actually going to do? And then, but he's actually said after that if he didn't have that music, the movie would not have been as successful.
No.
There's no way you can create that suspense.
I said it with Psycho, with the ring. That scene wasn't filmed with the music, and in the end, the music was kept in because it made up sort of 30% of that whole scene was that actual Psycho music, which is another amazingly iconic sort of theme. But yeah, this Jaws one, that music, unbelievable. It's just so good.
So good. Okay. Has there ever been a better When Animals Attack movie?
Oh, there's been lots of them.
There's heaps of them.
There's Godzilla's. There's even like full-on monster stuff.
Cujo?
Razorbacks, alligators.
Lake Placid.
Yeah, Crocs.
Rogue. This is... Would you say this is the first one, though, that did it like this? This is
probably
pioneering.
No, but Japanese were doing like Godzilla movies and
but let's disregard. Okay, let's disregard science fiction.
Right. Okay.
And disregard where it's a made up thing.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a better one. But not only that, it gave birth to so many things. You use Alien as an example. Alien is effectively shark in space.
Yes.
Like if you can swap the alien for a shark, it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
The alien is Jaws.
The thing,
it's like
it was creation of suspense,
but
without having to show the terror.
Yeah, but if you take away the sci-fi, well, I suppose if the shark, is it real? Could it be that big? Is it?
Well, I think the size of it is irrelevant.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I was only just thinking is that the shark is big. Like it's 25 feet, right? In this movie, it gets bigger as each movie goes on. It's 25 feet.
8-9 meters.
Now, I think that the biggest great white, they're saying the biggest ever on is about that size.
There's that one called Deep Blue
or whatever. Which is in Mexico or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know about you guys, and I don't know whether you were unfortunate enough to see the footage of that idiot swimmer that got taken at Maroubra off the rocks.
I didn't want to watch it.
Right
Yeah.
now, I saw that footage, and he effectively might as well have just put chum in his wetsuit and swum out there because he was. It's like Shark City. The size of that shark was massive. Massive. Now, is it too dissimilar to that? Sure, the dimensions might be frightening.
No, it doesn't go over the top. It's like, yeah.
But I think it's and the fact that no one ever at the time,
it's legit.
that's real. It's legit,
yeah.
right? So I think that whilst it's been proven that it is a bit over the top, it's not too far over the top.
Well, I think that's what gives it some of its major scare factor because it's big, but it's not like the Meg.
It's not the Meg.
Where you go, oh, this is crazy, right? But it is like that. When you watch this as a kid and you thought, that shark is huge, that's the scary bit. This huge,
It's so big.
the biggest one you've ever seen, right? But they're still in a realistic sort of atmosphere.
Yeah, it doesn't go
area.
over. It doesn't cross the line.
Yeah.
It's like, yep, you know what? That's a dead set, legit big bastard of a
And
shark.
when you see the fin, going through the water, the dorsal fin and then the tail fin.
Oh, that's
and
one of
you're
my
just
favourite
like,
shots.
Oh,
Yes.
my God.
That's in my
that
good.
thing is huge.
I love that shot.
Even Josh was like, that is huge.
Yeah.
That's massive.
That's when the scale really comes in. You see the length of it. You go, holy crap. Because when he's a bit of a profile coming head on, you don't actually see how long he is.
No.
But that side shot with the two fins, man, I love that shot.
And as the movie gets on, you get to see him bigger, like where he comes out of the water and he's right next to Richard Dreyfuss or next to Roy Scheider. And so it gives you that perspective of how big the head
It's
is.
a massive head.
And you're like, my God. So just as the movie goes on, it gets bigger and bit, you see how big it actually is.
Yeah.
Well done, gentlemen. Did this movie make you afraid of the water?
Yes.
I reckon it
Short
made
answer.
everyone. I'd say it's made everyone, spooked everyone.
Has there ever been a time when you have been at the beach in the water that you have not thought about this film?
Not specifically about this film, but it's definitely thought about sharks. Yeah. But I'm sure that it's ingrained some sort of fear into me.
Yeah. Well, in Australia, we're a little different here, obviously, because this could be every day. Do you know what I mean? This is actually quite real for us.
If you surf on your own, it goes through your head. And I've surfed on my own so many times, and I have thought about it pretty much every time.
I'll tell you what, I've been out a couple of times and just had that eerie feeling.
Yeah,
sharky.
And you're like, oh. But at one time, Morgs and I were surfing out at Mona Vale at Cook's Terrace there.
Yeah.
And there was heaps of people in the water, and the two of us were sitting there, and this fin just came out of the water, probably 20 meters ahead of us, coming directly towards us, came out of the water and went under. A dorsal fin, and we were like, "Oh
What
my
the hell's
God!"
that?
We were turned and paddling, and it was a dolphin in the end. But like, when you see a fin come out of the water coming directly towards you, you don't wait.
No, you don't. You don't. And I will just quickly say, I surfed out at the Butter Box, and I paddled out at Long Reef on an overcast day. And the whole time I paddled out there, I had this awful sharky feeling because the water was murky. I couldn't see.
Yeah.
And when I was out there, I was the only one at the Butter Box. And then two DY guys came.
It is sharky out there too.
It's super sharky. Two guys that I know from DY, Scotty Crawford, another guy, Jess Walker. They came down the cliffs and they paddled out. Anyway, I caught a wave, and when I paddled back out to them, both of them was shitting themselves. So we just saw a fin, and then they caught waves, and I was sitting there thinking, did they see a fin? Did they not? Anyway, they paddled back out, and I felt all right. And then I caught a wave, and then I paddled back out. And then they said, we saw the bloody thing again. I said, well, that's it. I'm paddling in.
Yeah.
Right? And I just paddled in. And then I was walking along the front back to Long Reef, and I'm looking out, and I saw them paddling in like Ian Thorpe versus Peter Van den Hoogenband in a race. And then I saw Scotty about a week later at DY Car Park. I said, hey, mate, I saw you paddling in. He said, mate, the thing went straight for them at 1,000,000 miles an hour and then ducked underneath about 2 meters before them.
Wow.
And disappeared.
Yeah.
And I said,
I'm not hanging around for
I'm
that.
kind of glad I paddled in.
Yeah. No, you can have that.
Yeah.
You can have that. Okay. Look, briefly, because we're going to touch on this throughout the podcast, but as I said earlier, Tarantino believes this is the greatest movie ever made. Is there an argument?
Oh, it's certainly debatable.
Okay.
It's certainly up there, isn't it? I mean, it's your favorite movie. Well, arguably favorite movie. Yeah.
Yep.
It's right up there. This is going to be a lot of people's favorite movie. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in context for the year that it came out,
Yep.
if you say, I mean, far out.
I think for the year it came out and the impact that it's had on people over that time.
If I say to you, do you know what's incredible? right? And I'm just thinking about this right now, is that Jaws come out in 75, Star Wars come out in 77, and nothing comes close, really, for me. Like, there are great movies, but in talks of, like, when I talk about what are my favorite movies, it's those two. Now, they're 50 years old, those movies.
Yeah.
What's gone on in the 50 years? Like, there's some great movies. And if I was to say to you, like, what's your favorite movie? It's not something that's been made in the last 25 years or 30 years.
No, there's some definite contenders that have come up there, but
For sure.
but it doesn't pip them, does it?
It's so, like, this is a golden age of cinema.
But is that because when you're younger, like, those movies have a lot of effect on you, as
I
opposed to maybe if you're older, you're
I can't argue that either.
yeah.
It's how we are,
because you're young. Yeah.
Because it's so emotional. Like, you know,
Yeah.
we are very impressionable,
yes.
right? And so and as I said, those three movies, Jaws, Star Wars, and Willy Wonka, have left an indelible mark on me moving forward forever.
Yep.
And so, and even, like, you know, if I go through, let's talk about Quentin Tarantino and Pulp Fiction and Inglourious Basterds and stuff like that, great movies that I love, but they just don't come close to those two
It's the
movies.
storytelling.
Maybe not.
It's, you know, there are slow bits that make these movies so good. I think
Yeah,
just the character development, and story, the arcs.
Definitely.
I don't think they don't replicate that. They don't do that anymore.
Now, these are the two hard-hitting questions.
Mhm.
Why doesn't anyone beat the shit out of Larry Vaughn? He makes 3 or 4 massive mistakes that he deserves to be beaten.
Yeah, the mayor.
In that town meeting where he leaves Brody out there and goes, just for 24 hours,
Yeah.
he should have been punched then. He should have been punched at the Tiger Shark at the slap scene. Should have been punched then. He doesn't do anything to fucking help Brody. Why doesn't anyone beat the fuck out of this guy?
What about when he finally realizes it's bad, then he's still trying to justify himself?
Yeah,
I was doing the right thing.
I'm sorry,
I was doing the right thing for
can't
the
do that.
town.
I can't do that.
I was
You're the
like,
mayor of Shark City.
He didn't want to know about reality.
No.
He just didn't want it. He didn't want to have to deal with it. It was in the too hard basket, and he kept it there.
It's quite funny because in the book, it explains why he's that, and it's all got to do with the mob and the mafia, and he's on the take and all this kind of stuff. So, and here it comes across as him just being he's just he wants to make sure that he wants to make sure he gets voted in again.
Oh yeah,
right?
Well,
Effectively, which is what every
he's in
politician
Jaws
wants.
too.
Well, that's
Not for
it.
long.
But that town meeting, everyone there, it just seems so selfish because they're all like, someone's died, and they're all just like, and it's supposedly the day before, they're all like, well, are you going to open the beaches or not? And that's all they seem to be worried about is the money, you know, for their shop. So,
well, you know,
it was sort of, I mean,
Look, I do get their point of view, but at the end of the day, it's like, hang on, we've got to save humans here.
yeah,
you're a small community. You know, you think someone getting taken by a shark would have a fairly big impact, not just like, are you going to close the beach because that's going to be, what was it? Someone yells out, one day is like 3 weeks or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Quint's the best. You know, you're going to ante up, and or you're going to be on welfare. You know, it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Just pay the guy and get it done. Are you going in the shark cage?
God no,
Mate, it took that shark cage apart.
Everything that they see prior to going in the shark cage, the size, the ferocity,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Well, yeah, I can go in the shark cage and stick this needle in him." Look, sorry, Hoops.
I think
that
it
was their
comes-
last option though.
Yeah, I think it sort of plays out pretty quickly. But he was like, "Well, what's our other plan? Like the boat's sinking.
Yeah.
Quint's already smashed the CB into bits, so they can't.
You're certifiable, Quint.
He won't go back and get the bigger boat. You know, like he's out there to take on the shark, right? So I think he's like, we don't have a choice. This is going to sink, and Psycho Pants is going to go down with the boat
but
unless
Quint-
he takes it down.
Quint said that at the beginning when he saw the cage. Remember, he said, "You go in the cage. You go in the water.
Yeah,
You go in
You
the
go.
cage.
You go in the water with the shark.
Cage goes in the water.
Yeah, cage. Yeah, our shark.
Shark's in the water.
Shark's
Our shark.
Our shark. Yeah. And then he starts singing that
Then he
song.
just starts singing.
Farewell and
Yeah,
adieu.
it was hilarious.
Yeah,
he just sings one of his shanties.
Yeah.
Mate, I've got it. I've got it in my good. But
So do
every
I,
time
yeah.
Quint talks,
Yeah.
He
it's like
sings.
I'm hats off.
So that cage was never a good idea. From
Now
the word go.
The incredible footage of the cage being torn apart is real.
Yeah.
So there was actually
thrashing.
that was Ron Taylor.
Yeah.
They'd made a smaller cage with a
Oh, for scale.
to make the shark bigger, and there was actually a guy in the cage
Oh, I'm an idiot.
to start with,
A dwarf.
and then they used a dummy, right,
Oh,
which
okay.
was it to be Hooper. But that that where the shark is caught on top of the cage, that
Yeah.
all that footage is real,
Yeah, you can
is
see.
incredible.
Yeah, well, you see it just thrashing
Yeah,
around. It's
incredible.
crazy. So Valerie and Ron Harper were in it. Was
Taylor.
Taylor, sorry, Ron Harper.
Ron Harper played for the Bulls in the 90s.
Valerie Harper, wasn't she a TV star?
She was, yeah, actually, yeah, she was.
But if they're involved, was Jacques Cousteau involved?
No,
Oh,
Sharks wasn't. There was.
He was
there
around then.
He was
big time.
around. He
Yeah.
was around, but and Steve Zissou wasn't either. For you Wes Anderson fans, so
Oh, that's that.
you can fuck
Life
off.
Aquatic
Life Aquatic.
shit, right.
Yeah. Okay, well done. I would not go in the cage. Just the Gauge Road, good, the bad, the ugly. Proudly brought to you by Gauge Road Breweries, and quite apt, single fin.
Yes,
And
mate,
there's a single fin in this movie.
a big single fin. And I'm still working on the Shamrock Meats.
How they going?
Sponsorship. Good. Oh yeah, well, I've been there punching the
Punching the shit
the
out of a
carcasses. Yeah.
side of meat.
Yeah.
Did you break any ribs?
Oh yeah, shit, yeah.
Oh, you would.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Strong.
Tenderize them.
But yeah, single fin there was what you know what that the actual shark itself. I reckon they did a pretty bloody good job of the shark for that day and age, that animatronics, that robot shark, for what they could get and they film. It looked pretty good. But you know, obviously the cast, those three guys, it is such a good cast. They all work together so well, and they're all so different. You know, just those three. Obviously, the biggest character for me is the shark and the music, the theme, the shark theme. So I went through that. I can't talk high enough about how good that shark theme is. Mrs. Kittner, right? Even though she looked like she was about 550 years old.
Yeah.
Her
Well, her husband did.
yeah.
Was that her husband?
I don't know.
I hope not.
No,
She
I
thought they said she was a single mother.
she
so-
looked old for have that 10-year-old kid. You know, in the 70s, mate, they were popping out. They had 3 kids. by
She
the
was.
age they were
She wasn't even an
26.
actress. She was from the island.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But so the message that she gave Brody was full on. It's what Brody tried to say, but she delivered it with so much emotion and anger. You know, like you knew someone died, yet you opened the beaches and it's exactly what needed to be said. It's exactly what Brody needed to say. It was exactly what Brody needed to say, but he didn't have that in him to say it. She delivered it full on broadside.
Yeah.
And it really sunk into like, and this is what that's what made Brody. He was then on a mission. He wanted to get on the boat. He wanted to go and do it. He was like, holy shit.
Well, he felt responsible.
He totally did.
Yeah.
She
Well, he
put-
said she's right. I said, no, she's
she,
right.
she did. It put the full guilts.
Yeah,
on
fucking
him
Larry should
massively.
have said something. 'Cause
That's
it wasn't
right.
his decision.
But if Brody spoke like that in that town meeting,
Yeah.
it would have been shut down.
Yeah, he was a bit of a cuck, Brody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was up to it was her that delivered the message that cut through.
Yeah.
No other message cut through.
Cuts like a knife.
So I thought even though, I thought she looks really old for being the mum of the 10-year-old.
Yeah.
But she freaking unloaded both barrels. And the other things I mentioned, the underwater shots, and you guys are probably going with the perspective, but just seeing the flailing legs there.
Yep.
And with meters of water, just it's just the vulnerability of a human in
Frightening.
the ocean
Frightening.
is just it is ridiculous. So yeah, but we basically covered my other goods, and I know you've got a shitload of goods, so that's me for good.
G-Man?
Got a couple of quick ones. One is the police truck.
Oh, I've got
Love
the
it.
cruiser. Love it.
Love it.
It had no top. Yeah,
Had no top.
yeah.
Just cruising around
Yeah,
in their
great
little
car.
four-seater. Great
Great
car.
car.
The actual name Jaws, just
So good.
just so
Yeah.
good. It just evokes everything in it, like the jaws of the shark. That's the
Yeah.
horrifying part. Like it just is so apt.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's so synonymous now. I did like all of the main characters, the 3 main characters. I think they all did really good jobs. Richard Dreyfuss was awesome as the young marine biologist. I think the unassuming police chief, that Roy Scheider played was really, really good. And then Quint, obviously, or Robert Shaw as Quint was a really good,
Batten hardened old salty dog.
That's right. That just brought a different touch, and also the dynamic between them, like Roy Scheider and and Richard Dreyfuss had a really good chemistry, whereas the one between Robert Shaw and Richard Dreyfuss was a little different. And I think we'll talk about those reasons later. But you could certainly see there was a bit of animosity between them.
Yes.
In those scenes, which gave it the realism. I also, as Damo said, I really like the up underwater shots, like that use of perspective that Spielberg had there to show that predator perspective gives you the fear factor, and seeing people just flailing around in the water, it just really it really brings in the fear and the terror, and also the night scenes, because that brings the fear of the night. Does it as well. So having people swimming at night, having people in the dark, not knowing what's going on.
Unbelievable. It's scary swimming in the pool at night.
Yeah.
Let alone the ocean.
Those lighting techniques, amazing. The zooming in and the zooming out effect. So there's one scene where the shark first attacks, and then Brody looks out at the water, and they zoom out to the water, and it's sort of showing that like how expansive the ocean is, but then they're zooming in on one, and it's not even a spot, it goes through the bridge and it shows one spot. So they're just saying not that far out, but somewhere in this near area is this massive
big,
predator.
dirty, big bastard.
So, and it just, that all adds to the theme of the movie. But yeah, that's my good. We'll leave it there.
All right, you mentioned the three leads, but I'm going to talk, and they're amazing, but I'm going to talk about the people behind the camera. Spielberg, John Williams, incredible.
Yes.
Zanuck and Brown, the producers, incredible. The fact that they could paste this together. Joe Alves and Bob Maddie, who were responsible. Joe Alves designed the shark.
Geez, he's bringing some names, isn't
Bob
he?
Maddie created the mechanical sharks.
Oh, okay, right.
Without those guys,
yeah,
the movie doesn't work, right? Yeah. So it is the sum of its parts. As great as the guys are on screen, the guys behind the screen are even better. You've mentioned the start. It's one of the greatest starts to any movie. Yep. If you're not hooked within 5 minutes of this film, first it's the piss up, then the guy, then it's the swim, and it's the attack. And that attack is so brutal without seeing anything. Isabel said to me, because she's watched this quite a few times with me, and she watched it this week with me, she goes, "Where's the blood? You don't need it."
Well, the shark sort of played with her a little bit. It was like a cat with a mouse.
Yeah, it was.
That first tug under the water where she sort of goes down.
It was a bit of a. It was like it was.
So in the book,
brutal, yeah.
in the book, that first tug, it actually bit off a foot, and she reaches down and feels for a leg and feels just the bone.
Yeah.
Right. And so it effectively was toying with her. Right. So
take a foot. Yep.
Yeah. And so the start of that movie, the movie is incredible. And obviously then you move to the day scene where they find the arm and the remains and stuff. It's just, you are hooked, right?
Yeah.
The I Love Amity sign is incredible.
The one where they threw the fin.
They threw the fin on it, and he goes, I have looked for that. I want that in my pool area, the banner. I want that banner. I've been given clearance by Megan to get it. I've just got to find it. Now, I've found a couple on Etsy. So if anyone knows of anywhere that is a good banner, I'm quite happy for it to be 3 meters long.
So you're going to get it just printed?
I want to get it printed as a banner, and I'm going to frame it, and I'm going to hang it in my pool area.
Put it on like core flute, like a real estate sign.
Yeah, could do that. Yeah.
Wow.
So I love that. I love that. Larry Vaughan's anchor jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible. Incredible jacket.
The stripy one?
Just the one with the anchors. It's got anchors on it.
It had patches on the on the elbows.
You know he's such a dick just by the jacket that he wears.
Yeah, the stripy one does.
Okay.
Going, who wears that kind of jacket?
Yep.
He does. He does.
So more.
Oh, he looked good. And I'm 70s sports jacket.
So I'm also gonna go to another person, Carl Gottlieb. I've already mentioned him. He was Harry Meadows, who is the offsider to the mayor. The guy with the moustache, he's on the barge at the start of the film. He sort of says, "Well, you can't do that. You need the city council and all this kind of stuff." Now, he was hired as an actor. He was a writer. He started to rewrite the script with Spielberg. He actually wrote himself out of the script, right? Because he realized that his character really didn't add to the narrative. So he wrote himself out, and because of that,
selfless.
Yeah, created, one of the greatest scripts ever. Not afraid to kill the dog. So Pippet. Now, today that wouldn't happen. There is no way today.
Well, they didn't show it. It was just the stick was in the water.
The dog's eaten.
Yes.
And not only that, it then became the whole rumor of dogs attract sharks. Don't let your dog swim in the water.
Is that what
Dogs attract
I
sharks.
still believe that.
Yeah, well, there you go. I reckon
Is
it
it
started
true?
right. I don't know.
Oh,
We'd love to hear on socials if anyone can tell us if
Oh,
dogs attract
yeah.
sharks.
I wonder if they. Yeah, because I've always thought that. Like,
Because it was about 7 inches of water that the dog's in.
Yeah.
And next thing, Pipit's gone.
old
Pipit, Pipit. And then that leads into the Kittner scene.
Oh, you know what I would like to see? Pipit's paw washed up.
Oh,
It should have been something, or just the leash.
Yeah.
Like it's
No, a bit of half a leg.
tail. Spat the tail out. Not enough meat on the tail.
Yeah.
And Isabel actually asked, why didn't the shark hit the arm? Because there was the remains left.
Well,
I don't know. It's already eaten 98% of the body.
they're called crumbs for
Yeah,
a shark.
exactly. It's probably sucking its teeth. That then the Pipit scene leads obviously into the Kittner scene,
Yeah, there's some
where
good boy.
Spielberg is just crushing it with the angles of the camera. So you're meeting the people on the beach.
Lots of people in
lots
the
of
water.
people.
Yeah, who's getting who's
It's so many different.
there's music going, so
yeah,
someone's going to go.
He can't focus.
Yeah.
Right, he's losing focus. One of the greatest lines in the movie, "That's some bad hat, Harry." One of the great lines with the old guy. We know you refer to the water chief. Is that some bad hat, Harry? And he just moves him on.
Yeah. Yeah, Harry with his filthy tits.
Oh my God!
Oh.
Saggers, nip and tuck, Harry. Go and see Nolte Surgeon, Harry.
You get the package deal. Can you do the boobs and the sack? Harry, you do it.
That's some bad sack, Harry. But the knowing that Alex Kittner is swimming out, and you know he's going to die. You just know he's going to die.
Yeah, because they saw the mum on the beach. Can I go a bit longer? Yeah, 10
you
more
know
minutes.
he's next on the menu. Killing a kid
Oh,
is
no.
amazing.
Killing a kid, killing a dog.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And not only that, it's so subtle. You just see the flip. Now, there's a lot of
it looks wicked. Yeah,
There's a lot of deleted scenes where there's actually footage of Kittner in the mouth of the shark, and there's actually a much bloodier version of that than what you see in the actual movie in the end.
It's just splash and a bit of
Yeah,
shark
and
body.
because that's what it's about.
You
That's
can't work it out.
because I think most of the time with a shark attack, that's what it's like, right?
Yeah.
It's just split
Yeah.
decision, it's over. But the lead up and then the effect, the panic out of the beach, then the raft washing up with the
Of
blood.
the surf mat.
Yeah, that is just incredible.
And I mean, the torn to shreds
Yeah,
surf mat.
yeah.
Yeah. And you
And-
go, just the same as the stick was in the water, the
Yeah.
mutt's dead.
Exactly
The
right.
surf mat's torn to shreds. Yeah.
But then the mum just coming down to the beach.
Yeah,
Everyone's
by
staring at her,
herself,
just going,
yes.
Alex,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's real bad. The town, we've mentioned the town meeting where we get introduced to Quint.
Old fingernails.
The
he's got.
fingernails,
Yeah.
and then his monologue there is
Yeah.
excellent.
What's he eating? What
He's eating crackers.
Is it a cracker?
It's like a salada. I reckon it's like a
Yeah.
salada.
Yeah, I know. Just it looked like it had a bit of a wavy shape to it, so I wasn't sure.
But what? and it
Grain
was-
waves.
Could have been a great
First
Sour cream-
generation.
Sour cream and jives.
First generation. Saltine. It was probably a saltine. But that then his monologue about for $10,000 you get
I'll
the
go
head,
for-
the
yeah.
tail, the whole
Yeah.
damn thing. That is incredible. And then he just goes, "Chief, ladies and gentlemen." He just gets up and walks
Yeah,
out with his little gimp mate.
with his little mate.
His
yeah.
little gimp mate.
Little Oompa Loompa.
Yeah. He's Dobby.
I love him. I love him on the.
Quint's Dobby.
Stop.
Sees ourself.
It is.
Sees
Yeah.
ourself.
I love him on the boat. Hey, Chiefy.
Yeah.
Next time you just ask me which nut.
Yeah. Good to see you didn't forget your rubbers. Okay, and this leads into every time Quint speaks, I'm transfixed. He's
Yeah.
incredible in this film. Then once they get on the boat, from the minute they are on the boat, this movie does not stop. The only time it takes a breath is for the Indianapolis speech, and even that you cannot take your eyes off the screen because
It's a full-on story.
yeah, it's incredible. But from there, it just goes to another level.
The boat too, like really, they were on the water not that long before the click click of the fishing rod.
Yes.
Like that's pretty quick on
Yeah.
not being on the boat. It's
Yep.
it's click click, and he just
I love that when he
straps
just
himself in.
straps himself in,
It's
doesn't
just
say anything.
really slow, and it's so suspenseful.
And he just knows, right? He just knows what's happening.
Yeah.
He's like, right, here we go.
Yeah, but we don't see anything, we don't
No.
hear anything, we don't know, but we just that clicking in the fishing rod.
Yeah,
at the
for
beginning
sure.
there, it was so good.
But once we get to the boat, things really happen quickly.
all the time,
Right?
yeah.
Really happen quickly. Like you go, they're on the boat, then it's the first sighting of the shark, you're going to need a bigger boat. Right.
Yep.
Then from then on, it's on. And then you go, Indianapolis speech, shark cage, Quint's death, blow the shark up. Now, obviously, that's a very short,
Yeah.
but it is just
Yeah. Well, the shark damages the boat during the speech
Yeah.
or just after the speech.
Yeah.
A couple of headbutts.
it's incredible. And so,
I'll tell you what, it doesn't leave the boat alone, does it? It doesn't just give it one
no,
hit.
it's on a
It
mission.
starts ripping the thing apart.
yeah.
Good old Bruce.
He knows he wants to sink this thing.
Look, the whole film is incredible. It has no fat. I talked about it already. It has no fat. Even before we get onto the boat, every scene is propelling it forward. Every scene is just, there is something that is incredible or memorable in every scene. Even when Hooper turns up, hello there, sir. Hello back. Like there's something funny, those people on those launches, they're not gonna get out of the harbour alive. There is something, the half-assed fish autopsy. It's a tiger shark. A what? Like it is.
Yeah.
Everything is so.
There are a lot of really good little dry one-liners
Yep.
in this movie. A lot of little quips.
Yep.
Like
Like
just sort of keep it a little
and
lighthearted.
I've got it in quotables, but
Yep.
when they're at the dinner table and Hooper turns up, and Ellen Brody's like, "Oh, there's." Yeah, you're obviously scared of the water, and
Yeah.
there's
Is there a clinical term for this?
Is there a term for this? You're drowning,
Yeah.
and and it's just like so good. You got to let that breathe. Like there is actually quite a lot of humor throughout the whole film, which is.
I love how he pours himself like a schooner glass
Oh,
of
it's
red
a big
wine.
But not only that, he's got a scotch in the bottom of it in ice.
Yeah.
Like he's just topping it up.
He's on the
He's all
piss.
over it.
Yeah.
Look, I could wax lyrical about the good of this movie, but I'm going to leave it there.
Yep. There's a fair bit
There's
there.
a fair bit there.
Yep.
But look, everything is good in this movie. Bad. G-Man.
Okay, I had to nitpick a little to get some bad.
Yeah.
But I've just got a few questions
Yeah.
that I came with, which when you're watching it and you're sort of trying to critically watch it, you come up with a few questions. One, we'll start at the start of the movie. Why does she run off at the start?
Chrissy,
Like he's making eyes at her.
your wife.
Yes. And
Is this how you
she'd
met?
run from me.
Is this how you met?
Yeah, she ran. But he walks over to her. He doesn't even get a time to get a, how you doing? And she just
No.
starts running. And
Come
he's
with
like,
me.
where are we going? And then she just got the top off.
No, she's like
She's straight in the water.
she's like a specialist triathlon changeover person. You know, the changeover is important to be able to change your gear, get it off, put the new shit on. She was in motion getting that gear
I
off.
know, and how bad was he? He couldn't even get out
He
of his
was
shoes on the beach, and then he fell asleep.
He let the male
Yeah.
male
Let us
males
down.
Yeah,
Put us down.
his shears get the gear off, and you can't even keep up.
And then you just fall asleep. Now, I just didn't get that bit because it was like he was trying to talk to her, and then she just ran off. So, anyway, another part when Hooper arrives, he gets off a little. He's getting a lift, and he gets off a little dinghy at the wharf there, and starts talking to Chief Brody and talking to everyone there. But then when they go out, he's got his own massive $1 million boat. We say, we find he's a rich character. I was like, why wasn't he docking that?
No, and go out on
Like,
Orca.
well, we would have been docking that. Why was he coming in on the little? Because I thought he's gotten a lift over to the island, but then they get into his massive boat. So
Well, maybe he's moored the boat and he's gotten a lift.
maybe
From
it
his
just,
moored
just
boat.
seemed odd.
Yeah.
The other one was when they go out in the Orca and they go, right, he goes, Quinn says, I want to go out my own. And they go, no, you'll have to come with me. So he says, I'm the chief on the boat. But why didn't they take his massive boat with all the dynamic sonar and all this stuff out
Too
as
high-tech.
well to help find the shark instead of they're just chumming off the back of the
they
boat?
could have taken two boats.
They could have taken two boats because this thing's fitted out for
That
this
may
kind
have
of
been
thing.
a sensible sort of thing to do.
I just thought that when I was like, why didn't they take his big fuck off boat?
Yeah,
The other one was why do they all wear shirts and ties on the island? Everybody's wearing
it's like
a
the Brady
sports
Bunch,
jacket.
mate. It's the Brady Bunch.
It's the
You know,
70s. It's
yeah,
the 70s.
70s.
Even
Yeah,
Hooper, even Hooper's got the jeans and sports jacket on the
but
beach.
like, remember every Brady Bunch episode, they go to a birthday party, suit jacket, tie,
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
the whole thing.
But it's the middle of summer. You're on an island. Like
That is, I'll go into that in my bad too.
maybe we need to start wearing that in the GC.
No, I wear thongs, shorts, and a
shirt.
shirt.
My last one, which we've already covered, was why does Quinn start singing in the middle of conversations?
That's him. It just
It
really,
just-
it really enhances his mental, sort of
Stature.
Yeah.
Or lack thereof. Okay, Damo, what do you got?
So everyone's favorite, or my favorite topic of conversation is the weather. It's wonderful. It's riveting stuff. But that night party, mate, they were freezing their tits off.
Yes.
They're all
Yeah.
wearing jackets, jumpers, full on campfire. I'm going for a swim. There's no freaking way.
Yeah, he was in jeans and shoes
Mate,
on the beach,
mate,
wasn't he?
and jackets, like
Yeah.
jumpers and jackets. They were cold. Even during the day, they were cold. I'm going,
It's quite breezy.
But there's no way you'd want to go jump in the water.
Mm.
There's no way. To me, it was like, even in the daytime, Chief's got his tracky top on the whole time.
Mm.
They're rugged up.
The Chiefs wearing long pants and
Mate,
boots.
they're
on the
rugged,
beach.
and I get it. It's sort of way up the top North America, whereas like past New York, where
Hamptons.
Hampton-
Up at
yeah.
the Hamptons.
right. So it's
Martha's Vineyard.
it's
Why?
cold.
Do you reckon anybody went full Ralph Macchio and wear jorts on the beach, like at the?
I think there were.
I think jorts are about 7 years later.
Right.
Yeah, no, I just think it seemed too cold to want to even go in the water.
It seemed too cold for July the 4th.
The Chrissy swam out in the dark at least 200 meters out into the water.
She swam a long way.
What the hell? She's got balls of steel
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah, they all seem to go out a long way, didn't they?
I'm just going
They
to
all
go
swam
and
a long
swim
way
all
from
the way
beach.
out here. Yeah, that was a bit. But the mayor, the thing that was really gutless about the mayor was he went up to the old bloke on the beach. Said, "Why don't you go and take your?"
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
No,
And
why
you
don't-
didn't, and you
why
don't go in.
You get in your sluggos.
Yeah.
Why don't you go out and do a couple of laps?
Yeah.
No.
I've got that exactly the thing.
Yeah.
Absolute scumbag.
T-
Forcing people into the water.
And the why do they call the pond the pond? The pond is linked to the ocean,
Yeah.
except there's a bridge
Yeah.
in between it.
It's
It's
a
not
lagoon.
a pond.
It's a lagoon.
It's the freaking ocean still.
Yeah.
So
Which is a spot that sharks tend
Yeah.
to like,
Yeah.
inlets.
I'm thinking that's not a safe spot.
That's not the spot you want to go.
That bridge there is not a dam.
Yeah.
So anyway, I thought it was bad. Look, and once again, bit nitpicky. Some scenes, the water conditions change from shot to shot.
Yes, I noticed that. Yes,
You
when
know,
they're out on the orca.
when they're chasing him, they look at Dreyfus shot, and behind him it's choppy as shit.
Yeah,
They
and
look
then when
at
they
the
turn
front,
around, it's nice
really
and
calm.
serene. Yeah,
Yeah,
I noticed that.
Just a couple of, look, once again,
Continuity.
and the only one other thing too, when they cut the ropes that were tied around the spigots on the back of the boat,
Yep.
they pulled the barrels in, they tied the rope. Well, the barrel should not still be attached to the shark because they cut the ropes.
No, they didn't cut the rope. It gets pulled off.
No, they cut-
They
they
go
get rid of it.
they go to chop
with
it.
the machete.
No, they
but
go
it
to
took
chop it, but
speed-
the things go.
it just flipped.
Pink.
Okay.
Yeah, the things
Okay.
go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he pulled out the machete. I went, hang on, did he cut that? Oh no,
Yeah.
they flipped.
They pulled out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
they
Yeah.
pulled out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll take that one back.
Yeah. Okay. I've got bad. The first scene.
You've got a bad.
I've got 3 bads,
You do.
and I've got 2 uglies.
Go and wash your mouth out with soap.
The first scene. I'm thinking of it from the perspective of Susan Blacklenny, who's Chrissy Watkins. She got absolutely destroyed in that scene, pillar to post. There were pulleys on the beach, and they were running and pulling. Like Steven Spielberg was on one of the ropes and pulling her from side to
Like
side.
that
and
washing machine.
she hurt her
effect.
back.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she hurt her back. Like she nearly drowned. So that where you can hear her going, oh, that's actually legit. Like she was almost getting waterboarded because she was being drowned. So that's pretty brutal. But again, works really well for the scene.
Yep.
Larry Vaughan
Yeah.
on July the 4th, asking the people going to the water, I'm with
Oh.
you. That is the worst.
Go yourself, mate. Lead by
Yeah,
example.
that is the
mate.
worst.
Yeah.
But no, we've talked about the pond, but what about shark?
Oh, the girl
Shark!
couldn't talk. Yeah.
Shark! Yell,
Oh,
bitch!
It's
Scream, bitch!
fright takes you.
No, scream!
Yeah, I know.
Scream!
But it was also a case of the boy who cried wolf in that exact time because they just caught the kids.
But also, it's like scream. As a 10-year-old, I was like, why isn't she screaming?
Yeah, I know.
Like, why is she going like
She
shark?
can't. Yeah, because she's not like can't be that petrified. She's
No.
on land.
She's on land. Nothing's happening to her.
As my original stat was, you can't get attacked by a shark
If you're dry.
if you're dry.
Heard that. They're my bads.
Okay.
Good one.
Anyone got any uglies?
No, I don't have any ugly. You can
Okay.
run into your
Yeah,
ugly
I've
one.
got- I've got one.
Damon's got one.
I got one. The George Costanza Award for the fire at the kid's birthday party. Remember when he ran out the door and pushed all the kids out of the way? There was a guy
Yep.
that ran over those kids
Yeah.
on the
Oh,
surf
and
mat.
he grabbed the mat.
He just
and
was
started paddling on the mat.
He just totally barreled
Yeah.
over those kids, and I'm out of here.
There was a lot of like individuals in that
Yeah.
in that melee.
Yeah, so those little kids that were just on that surfboat,
Yeah.
they were
They were gone. Yeah.
mowed over by that bloke.
That poor old digger was just getting trampled.
That was George Costanza all over again, getting out of that birthday party for the kids.
That was just after he'd eaten the eclair out of the bin. And the mum caught him.
Yes.
Oh, so funny. Okay. All right, my uglies. The slap scene.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
17
Just
takes
Oh
that
no
took.
way.
17 takes.
Ouch.
She couldn't fake the slap, so
Shot his
she
copper to hide him.
slapped him 17 times.
Oh my god.
Now, that's bad, but oh my God, Larry Vaughan's a dog here. He does not step in and go, actually, it wasn't the Chiefs' call.
it was
My call.
Yeah.
He is the worst leader in the history.
He is.
He's a dog.
Well, how does he get voted back in again to be in there in Jaws 2?
Yeah, well,
He's still the mayor.
yeah.
He's,
And my other ugly is that Spielberg wasn't nominated for a director, for a gong, for an Academy Award.
yes, should have been.
Disgusting.
Should have been.
And that's it.
That's it.
Tell you what,
That's brought to you by Shamrock Meats.
and Gage Road Breweries.
Okay, cool. And Amity Tourism.
Yes. And Vaughan Realty. Brought to you by Vaughan Realty. All right. Well, it's now time for Damo's Quick Fire.
Oh, there can't be anything here in popular culture.
Nothing in pop culture.
That's not a knife. I go back to the original here. How that's not
Yep.
a knife.
Go.
It's because I find that's not a knife. A scene or a scene that have passed over into popular culture. Whitey. I mean, there's one clear standout.
Well, the theme.
Yeah, but
You're going to need a bigger boat.
that one.
That's probably that could be the.
We're going to need a bigger
But
boat.
you're going to need a bigger
Or you're
boat.
going to be.
And that's one of the reasons it's so well known is because it is constantly misquoted.
Oh, right.
It's constantly misquoted as "we're going to need a bigger boat"
Yeah.
when he actually says it to Queen, you're going to need a bigger
Yeah.
boat.
But he keeps going on about it a little bit.
Are we going to get a bigger boat? Are we getting a bigger boat?
Yeah, because he was the smart one going, hey, we can't take this shark on.
Yeah.
No.
Quint was like, no, we're going.
Well,
I'm
that's
going
G-Man in a nutshell. The
No,
smart
but
one.
I think definitely the theme, definitely that
So
line.
that was ad-libbed.
Yep, was
Oh,
ad libbed.
was it?
Yeah.
Ad libbed. A lot of
Now,
the movie was.
I did hear a story that was a running gag between some of the main actors. They kept saying that when he said it on the boat, it was because it was a running joke, and then
Yeah.
it just
It
worked
fit
so well. They were like
perfectly, yeah.
perfect when he backs into the cabin there.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. No, I think they're two. I mean, the theme and that are two of the biggest.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Popular because we're going to need a bigger X.
Yes.
Is used in anything.
Yes.
In
definitely.
everything.
Well, the name Jaws is synonymous, right?
And the name.
if you
What
say
about-
Jaws,
what
everybody
about-
knows what
Yes.
you're talking about.
What about Blockbuster?
Oh yeah.
Blockbuster.
You could say that.
Well, yeah. It was
Well,
a
without
side,
this
it was a
movie,
side
there's-
effect of the
yeah.
block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sharks.
Yep.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
I think people knew about sharks.
Yeah, I
But-
know
but
that, but I think
It gave him a bit more of a
Fuck
fear.
it. Thanks, Steve Zissou.
Thanks, Jacques Cousteau. Righto.
Righto.
Okay, no, that's cool. Now, this should be
Well, this is easy.
lay down Mazaire. The Philip Stuckey Award for the biggest douchebag.
Larry
Well,
Vaughan.
The,
Yeah,
you,
LV, he
the,
gets it.
the man.
Also, just Pip's guy running over the kids.
Yeah.
But we'll give it to Larry because he gets more screen time.
I
Yeah,
know.
no, Larry's a dick.
He really does. He does. Yeah, he's a massive dick. Jason Lee from Backdraft. Thought they were in a different movie. Anyone?
I got one.
You got one?
There's an extra on the beach after the charge out of the water,
Okay.
and he's smiling.
Oh, is there? Okay.
I can guarantee you, if you go to a lot of movies, you're probably watching all the extras' faces.
Yes. There'd be one or two extras that are
having
just,
a good laugh.
let's see if we get this one through.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I think everyone seemed to be pretty much
Nah,
spot
everyone
on.
else is good.
Yeah, he was pretty good. He's offside or he's
Dobby.
deputy sheriff.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's oh,
Well,
Yeah,
he,
he didn't really have much of a
sign-
clue what was
he
going
painted
on.
the signs
Again, he's a local island. He
was
was
he?
from. He got hired
You
at
know
Martha's
what?
Vineyard.
But his acting when he came across the Chrissy's body first,
Yeah, he's good.
he was pretty good.
I didn't think he was that bad.
Yeah, so he was a local.
He's
guy.
a local
his,
guy.
his acting was fine. I mean, just as a character, he's just like
He doesn't have
he
much to
doesn't
do.
really get much,
No.
and then he doesn't get involved in the boat scene. And they're just like, right, you're
no,
gone.
no.
You
What
don't
did
see him.
he painted the signs. He
Yeah.
painted the signs. You know.
Hendrix.
Yeah. Well, he's done well there. Ripley running for poor sporting prowess. Pretty hard in this one.
Ellen Brody running to the pond It's
really?
right up there with Sigourney Weaver. She takes
With a
2 or
bit of
3
Ripley?
steps.
Yep. I just found it was pretty difficult. Obviously some poor fishing techniques. What about the guy threw in like a bunger?
Yeah,
Like it was-
it was bungers.
It wasn't.
It was a bunger.
It was
Yeah.
about a bunger. But that tiger shark, when it was out of the water, it had like 2 bullet holes and 2 arrows.
Arrows in it.
It was like, this is the most.
They actually caught that.
Oh, did
That
they?
was actually a real shark. They actually caught that and brought it in
And then they decided
And
to
hung
put
it
some
up.
bullet holes in it.
and hung it up. Well,
Yeah.
rules were different back
Had a
then.
real arched back on it. That
It's doing the worm.
it gave it up. Robot Sentry Scout, an additional scene.
Gee, like this movie. There could be more to this movie. Like they could give you some more scenes, I think. But it as Whitey said before, it just everything's got purpose. So 2 hours goes so quickly with this movie.
Mm.
There is some of the story we know that's cut out from the book, so they could go into that backstory a little bit, like why Vaughn's such a dick, but because he just comes across as just someone who's so self-interested, and they do have to brush through a few things, like the town scene, like we talked about when they go in to have the town meeting. It all just seems like the people on the island are very self-centered about wanting the beaches open. But apart from that, I mean, this movie is 2 hours of
Yeah, you
just
don't want
great
to
stuff.
clutter
yeah.
it with anything else. Any additional?
Perfection.
Well, you've read the book, so maybe.
I think everything they've left out of the book. You didn't need the affair with
No, you don't
Cooper
need
and
that.
Brody. You don't need it. You don't need to know about the mob stuff and the mafia
Yep.
stuff. You don't need all of that. It's so irrelevant to the story. The story is shark attacking people. Go kill the shark.
I would have liked to have seen, when they cut open the tiger shark.
Yep.
Richard Dreyfuss saying, "Oh, and I thought they smelled bad on the outside." Oh,
On the outside.
I tell you what, there was a lot of white stuff came
that
out.
was
of that,
it was
so-
it was an alien synthetic
alien, wasn't it?
shark.
Yeah,
it was.
Uh,
Josh said to me, "What's that?" I was like, "I don't know, mate."
synthetic
It's
shark.
it's
from
stomach
aliens.
juices. It's stomach acids.
Well,
Stomach acids.
I'll tell you what I did like about that scene was that when they came out with all the stuff that came out of its stomach, you're like, oh, this thing will eat anything. Like,
yeah.
everything out, like
It's a junkyard.
Yeah, it's a junkyard, all right.
Whitey's Jessica Chastain. This is a freaking tough one.
It is and it isn't.
Really
There's
tough.
really only 2 options here.
Mrs. Kidner.
3.
Oh,
Polly.
the girl that
Polly.
yelled shark.
Polly at the chief at the police station as well.
Oh, yeah, no,
Let Polly do the printing.
She was doing the
She's good with the hands.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay.
Oh no, there are a few.
You can go Chrissy
Yeah, I say
right at the
Chrissy.
start.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh no.
I'm going Ellen Brody.
Oh, you are? Yeah, she's not.
Horny housewife.
Yeah,
You want to get drunk and fool around? Yes, Ellen, I do. Yes, I do. In
Yeah.
fact, let's get drunk quickly.
In fact, maybe we should just go and parent our kids who are down on the wharf.
No,
on
they'll
their
be
own.
fine. Let them.
Yeah.
That's
the
a very
little ones just playing by the sea. Don't worry.
that's a
about
very
them.
good scene that where he's reading the book and he goes, I want him out of the boat. They're in the boat, but they're in a boat. And then she
Yeah.
sees the picture.
Yeah.
Get out of the water
This is
now.
Yeah.
Now.
What a house to be up there, like they're on the second story,
Oh.
looking down water views.
Yeah,
They've
yeah.
got their own little jetty.
He's still got a parent, and I think they could have figured it out so that they were like having some love and looking out the windows at the kids.
And well, that leads to a
That house was up there for a
that's the
beach house.
additional. That would
Good
be
house.
The
Yeah,
additional
it
scene.
was like the house out of Point Break. What's his name?
Oh, Bodie's.
Chandler's house.
Oh,
Chandler
no,
Bing.
Chandler's in.
In Point Break. Not
North
Point Break,
Shore.
in
North
North
Shore.
Shore. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Good beach house.
Yeah.
Chandler Bing.
Okay. Now we're moving on then. Lookalikes. We've got Scheider.
Well, Gow's.
Scheider
Gow's a
sitting-
dead set Scheider.
Scheider.
He's
Scheider
Chief
knows.
Brody.
Scheider knows Brody. Right here.
Shiza House Brody.
I reckon that Morgs in 30 years is going to look like Ben Gardner.
Oh, the dead body in
Yeah.
the boat.
Or just a tall, sort of just piece of shit.
Missing an eye.
Yeah.
And,
Shit teeth.
young Alex Kintner had a bit of Morgs lookalike to his cousin's photo.
Oh,
He did a
On the
little bit.
house wall. Yeah. In his tidy red
He's
Quite a bit red.
little red shorts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's quick fire for today.
Okay. Well, we're changing. Well done, Damien. Yeah, quality as always. We're changing it up a little bit here. We're gonna mix in listen to this and film school for F-wits in a
Like
what
Ricky
can
Gervais, like in
only
The Office.
only be
Yes.
considered and called film school for F-wits on steroids.
Ooh, oh shit. On the roids as well.
So, for a movie that is a cinematic masterpiece, the production wasn't as easy as what it would seem. In fact, it was a fucking nightmare. So these are the 10 production nightmares on Jaws.
10.
10.
Radio.
Obviously, we've spoken about the mechanical malfunctions. The shark wouldn't work.
Yep.
And for many, many days, they had to find things to do because the shark wouldn't work. Part of the problem is that the shark was built with fresh water in mind. So when they submerged it in the salt water, it had massive effects on the operation of the shark. And so there were days when it was like, well, we can't use it. We're going to have to figure out something to do. There were days where they'd be sitting around for hours, obviously filming, and that then went to it being over budget. Obviously, we mentioned the budget originally was 3 or 4 million. That skyrocketed to, I think it was 12 million. 55-day shoot became a 159-day shoot.
Wow.
Steven Spielberg effectively got sacked every day of the movie, but they knew that they'd gone this far. They couldn't do anything else, so they had to.
Point of no return.
Yep. So they had to just keep rolling with it, and in the end, it paid off. The tensions between the cast. So Robert Shaw and Richard Dreyfuss apparently, depending on who you talk to, who I've spoken to, which is YouTube.
Right.
YouTube told me that they had some blow-ups, which actually added to the characters because they actually have friction.
Yeah, they weren't mates. Yeah.
I already said that.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. But
No, you didn't. There's no way. You
but then we're talking about when I was mentioned that the shoot had started and there was still no script. They were writing the script to the point where and when we get to the Indianapolis speech, was written, rewritten, written again, rewritten, and then Robert Shaw got his hands on it. They filmed it. He filmed it. He was really drunk. It was a terrible performance. He then asked to film it again the next day.
Yeah.
Came back and we get that in one take.
Mate, I love the
What
method
is-
acting though. They're like, now you're supposed to be drunk on the boat. Got it.
Yeah,
Getting
I got
blind.
that. Got that.
Got it.
So
it wasn't a real stretch, was it?
John Milius of Conan the Barbarian fame actually rewrote one of the versions of the Indianapolis speech. So the score, obviously, Spielberg didn't like it to start with. He was like, "What? This isn't going to work."
Yeah.
Williams was pretty much like, "Just leave this shit to me, kid. It'll be
Leave
good."
it to the experts.
And actually worked out perfectly. So obviously, then the mayhem that was the production led to the delayed release, which then led to the summer blockbuster, which then all these things that happened.
It was silver linings.
It was silver
Yeah.
lining. So,
Yeah,
but all these
everything-
things that happened in the
Everything
background,
they touched turned to gold. Didn't
yeah. So,
Everything that turned to shit turned to gold.
Yeah, yeah.
Or, yeah.
so the editor Verna Fields, she was in a house. So a lot of the cast lived together. I think Spielberg, Verna Fields, might have even been Richard Dreyfuss. A few of them all lived in the house in Martha's Vineyard. And after the dailies, they would bring the stuff back to Verna Fields, who would be at the house, and she would edit the movie and start doing the stuff there. She actually, because there was no shark, it was mainly her that is the creation of the suspense, because she's like, well, this is how we're going to film. This is how we're going to cut this film.
Right.
So it's a lot of her editing
The suspense is fantastic.
because there's
yeah.
no shark that then creates what it became. But
yeah.
but also then it's been copied because it's like it's what you don't see, which is more important.
Yes.
Whereas
Scary.
although it's gone the other side now where
No, it's all out.
it's
gore.
all exactly right. So there was accidents. So there was the Orca sunk during one of the Orca started to sink, and apparently over the bullhorn there was an alert over the bullhorn about get the actors, but one of the guys from the sound department was like, fuck the actors, sound the same, sound department. He was holding his sound thing above his head as the boat's sinking.
Wow.
So they actually got it. But what happened was that the film actually became submerged in the water. It went into the film cans. But what they discovered was because film solution is saline, that they could rescue it because it was salt water. So they rushed it back and
Lucky.
they saved it. So a lot of these things were lucky. There were 3 Bruces made. There were 3 sharks.
Wow.
One from the left, one from the right.
Can you just explain that, Bruce?
So Bruce was Steven Spielberg gave the shark the name of Bruce after his lawyer, right? Now, so it just became the name of the shark. So there were 3 of them made. They cost $250,000 each.
Jeez.
So you got to think is almost a third of the original budget was on sharks.
Yep.
Right, which didn't work. Talked about the Indianapolis speech. It was originally written by Howard Sackler, lengthened by John Milius, rewritten by Robert Shaw.
Jeez.
And then, as I said, Shaw did it. It was drunk. So they did it again. One take, get what you get. Incredible. One of the best parts of the film.
Yeah.
One of the best parts of the film. So that's 10 mishaps that led to this absolute masterpiece becoming what it is today.
But that USS Indianapolis heavy cruiser, that's a true story.
Yes.
And there's a lot to it as well. That was discovered in the ship's wreckage was discovered in 2017. They've been looking for it for a long time.
Wow.
It's in really, really deep water. But the captain of the ship got court-martialed. He committed suicide. There's this whole story about it as well. But and it is true that of 1,900 men, only 300 or something survived.
1,100 men, yeah.
900 in the water, or 1,100, yeah, 900 in the water, and then just sharks and drowning and starvation. They were in the water for 4 days.
Yeah, it's crazy.
God, that would have been scary.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, so then some other stuff. One thing is that they used Martha's Vineyard because even though they could film like 12 miles out to sea, it was the sea bottom was still sand. It was sandy, which they could use the sleds for the sharks. It was only 8 meters deep, even 12 miles out. So
wow.
So they could use it was the perfect sea floor for what they wanted to do with the sharks because they were made on platforms which sat on the bottom of the ocean, and they were
wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty full on.
So the sled went along the bottom
of the ocean. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So and it had a big arm that the shark.
I had it completely in my head that they were actually like little model sharks swimming.
No, so it was on a platform with a big arm that would take it wherever it needed to go. One thing that I found was really cool, and you know what? I never knew this. I found this out in doing the research here. Quint's boat is named the Orca because the orca is the only known predator of the great white.
Yeah. I actually watched some footage this morning.
Yeah.
Of this orca.
I saw it.
Hitting that great white shark at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Well, they eat their livers.
Oh, my God.
That's
it just absolutely hammered it.
Yeah.
God, it was good to... Geez, I think everyone in the world is pretty much on Team Orca when it comes to great whites.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, get him, bloody eat that big
For
bastard.
sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Killer whales are just so cool.
So Peter Benchley was thrown off the set after objecting to the end of the movie. So he hated the ending because in the book, the shark just dies.
Oh, because it's been hit by so many bullets and
it's got all these. It's got the barrels on it. It's been.
Yeah.
It just effectively drowns.
Roy Scheider's or Brody's in the water or something, and the shark just dies.
It just dies.
It's finally like it's come.
It's had enough.
But Peter Benchley is in the movie too.
Yes, he is. He's the reporter
on the beach. Yeah. So he did his role. He acted his part, and
then he was on set to be a script. Help with the script as well.
The explosion
got punted, and he's also fired for weighing the story down with too many subplots, which were all in his book.
That's the book, though.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
yes.
yeah. I suppose. Yeah. He's not a screenwriter. He's a novelist.
Novelist. Yeah. Absolutely. I've got one more, and then I'll throw it open to the floor. Several decades after the film's release, Lee Fierro, who is Alex Kittner's mum, Mrs. Kittner.
I know this story.
Yeah, walked into a restaurant, noticed an Alex Kittner sandwich on the menu. She commented that she'd played his mother many years ago. Jeffrey Voorhees, who played Alex Kittner, owns the restaurant.
Yeah.
They hadn't seen each other since the filming.
That's amazing.
Came out. How you going?
I know what the sandwich is.
Yeah. It'd have to have tomato sauce on it.
Oh yeah. Bit of liver.
G-Man, you got anything? Anything
Yeah.
for listening to this?
I do. Just a couple of quick ones because you've hit on a lot of stuff there. Just the name, the shark, as you said, Bruce, after his lawyer. So the shark in Finding Nemo was named Bruce, supposedly as a homage to the mechanical shark.
Yep.
In this, John Williams, we said, won the Academy Award for his score in this, but he was actually conducting the orchestra at the 1976 Academy Awards. So when it was announced, he had to run up to the podium and accept it, and then run back, get back to the band.
So if he spoke for too long, then the music wouldn't have played.
Yeah, that's right. But he could have stayed there forever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known what to do. Just also quickly, 25%, roughly 25% of this film was shot from water level to provide that perspective we talked about earlier, as if they were treading water.
Yes.
And again, this was the first movie to reach the $100 million mark in theatrical rentals, which is about 45% of the box office gross. It was the highest grossing of all time in the US until, guess what movie overtook it?
Star Wars.
Exactly.
Yep.
So Whitey's your favorite movies? Blockbusters.
That's it.
Blockbuster
That's what I am,
lover.
a blockbuster lover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Anything, Damo?
I'm just going to add one thing. Do you notice the shooting stars?
Yeah.
Are they real or are
No,
they
so-
CGI?
There's one of them which was apparently supposed to be real.
No, they said it was real.
They said it was real.
And then they found out. Yeah.
Then apparently it got fixed in post.
So it was like CGI. The only
Yeah.
sort of CGI they used was for some background
shooting
shooting
stars.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I didn't. This is the first time I've ever noticed out of my 5 watches. It's like, holy shit!
It's
this-
pretty noticeable.
There's
Yeah.
2 shooting stars in the movie.
Yeah, I know there's 2, but I only noticed one.
Yeah. Okay, last one. We talked about the Ben Gardner head in the hole. Now, that was a shot that wasn't scripted. After some preview audiences had seen the shark come up and scared shitless, he wanted one more scare. So they went
Right.
back. It was actually in Verna Fields, the editor's pool.
Right.
They put
'cause it
milk
had
in the
that-
water.
That color, that orange.
Yeah, they put milk in the water. And then they filmed that scene in her pool with the head coming down. So very, very cool.
Yep.
You wouldn't even know.
And it is the biggest jump scare in the movie.
100%. Seeing it where it's people shit themselves. Okay, well done, gentlemen. Quotables. G-Man.
Look, we've gone through the bigger ones in here. I've got just a couple of quick ones because the one I had was the one about the clinical name for this, and the drowning. I like
Yeah, I love it.
that. I did like Brody. It's only an island if you look at it from the
Oh
water.
my God, that's my favorite line in the movie.
Great.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
I did like smile, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's good.
But that's really it. There's plenty of quotables in this movie. We've talked about a lot of them.
Damo?
Yeah, when they did open the Tiger Shark and they pulled out their Louisiana number plate, and Brody went, "You didn't need a car, did he?"
There's some good little
There's some
one-liners.
very good
And,
one-liners.
but I did like the bit. I liked the mayor when he did say, "You yell barracuda."
yeah,
And I was like, "Huh? What? But you yell shark." Like
you got a panic on your hands on
the-
the 4th of July.
The way the mayor delivered that, it was really
Yeah.
cool.
Hey, mate, the
I really
performances,
yeah,
the performance in this movie are flawless.
yeah. But when he said
He tried
barracuda,
to, he tried
I
to
loved
dance
it.
around it, and then he pulls him aside and goes, "Listen,
Yeah.
we're not closing the beach." Basically, that's what he's
Yeah.
saying, right?
Yeah, but he was super cool. I thought it was really cool the way he
Yeah.
said that.
He's
So
good.
they're my quotes.
Here lies the body of Mary Lee, died at the
Oh,
age of
yeah.
103. For 15 years, she kept her virginity. Not a bad record for this vicinity. Now, that was ad-libbed
Oh, was it?
by Robert Shaw and Steven
I thought it was
Spielberg.
some sea ditty.
So after they'd filmed it, Spielberg pulled him aside and said, "Rob, can you let us know where that's from? Because we're going to have to pay someone for the rights to that." And he goes, "Nah, I saw it on a gravestone back in wherever." So he got it off a gravestone.
What?
Yeah,
But it was funny because he was saying it to Brody's wife.
yeah.
But she
At that
said, and then she
time.
bolted off. Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
"What the hell?"
Yeah. I'm not going to waste my time arguing with a man who's lining up to be a hot lunch. And then also you're not going to do any of this until it swims up and bites you on the ass. Hooper's good.
Yeah,
Hooper's really
that's
good.
in the Dreyfus voice.
Also like Brody, slow ahead. I can go slow ahead. Come down here and chum some of this shit.
Yeah, he was just droppy rage. Wasn't
He was. And then this bit, a bit about, come on, Chief. This isn't no Boy Scout picnic. See, you got your rubbers. When he turns up in the rubber suit.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Chiefy.
Hey, Chief.
Chiefy,
Yeah.
Quint.
And yeah, so there's heaps of them. The script is really tight, really funny. A lot of one-liners. Perfect.
Yep.
1 Degree of Kurt Russell. Anyone get anything?
No,
I didn't check.
I did.
no.
Richard Dreyfuss, Poseidon. 2006, the piss poor reimagining of the Poseidon adventure.
Right.
Kurt Russell plays sort of Gene Hackman's character. And Richard Dreyfuss actually plays a gay man who is a bit of a pain in the ass. He ends up dying, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Gentlemen, star of the show. Damien. Actually, stop. We'll do the song now.
Yeah, that's
my
what I thought.
mistake.
Mate, you can't change the whole order, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Come on, Quint.
Okay, here we go. And
Get a hold of your ship.
guys, we're on a roll. We've now done. This will be the 3rd week in a row for Kick-Ass credit song. It is back. It is back, and G-Man is at the helm. What do you got, mate?
Well, I try to do this as quickly as possible to keep in line with Morgs' original idea for this song. So
Fuck Morgs.
yeah, I've got a called Quint's a Fool.
Oh, right.
Quint's a fool.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we had to come up with something.
Well, he is a
I
bit-
like it.
he is-
Right, here we go. Summer is coming out at Amity. Great little holiday right by the sea. But Bruce is cruising with a hunger to feed. No way around it. Some people gonna bleed. Brody wants to close. Fon says no. Quint says I'll kill him for a little more dough. But he sings shanties in the middle of a chat and smashes the CB with his bat. Quint's a fool. They should have had a vote. Joe smashed them up now. They're barely afloat. He's on the deck spewing blood from his throat. Should have gone back to get his bigger boat. Quint's a fool. Keen to get on the piss. Singing songs and a reminisce. Joe tugged your boat like it was Rick's leash. Then ripped you apart like a freshly cooked quiche. Quint's a fool.
Yeah, that's really good.
Such a good one. That is the
Yeah.
whole movie.
Yeah, that is really
That
good.
should be in the trailer. That's the whole freaking movie in a song.
Yeah, that's really, really good.
Oh my god, Quint's a fool.
Quint's a
But
fool.
the whole you got the whole story. I get to establish they're on Amity.
Yeah.
You know,
Mate,
they're
you
out on the
think
boats.
You do 3 rhymes in a row. It's like
You're like Banjo
boat,
Patterson.
throat.
Vote, a
Vote.
float, throat,
Yeah.
Oh,
vote.
you do a triple.
Triple
triple
up,
rhyme.
double it up.
Yeah, but it's a real storytelling art to your music.
He's the songbird of his generation.
People have called me that.
He's a lyricist.
He is.
Tells a story.
He's Bernie Taupin.
Man. Yep, nice work.
Well done, G-Man. Very good. It's very apt that we move into star of the show. And I want to pick Gow, but I can't.
Ah,
Damo, who you got for star of the show?
dun 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 dun
The
dun
theme.
dun dun.
John
John
Williams.
Williams.
Yeah, well done.
For me.
Okay. Very short and sharp like that.
Yep, yep.
G-Man.
2 notes over and over.
Again, the 3 main actors, it was really hard to split them. I wanted to go for one of those guys. I was really stuck between Richard Dreyfuss and Robert Shaw. I'm going to go to Quint on this one. I just think
right.
just what he brings to the movie and that final scene where he gets chomped in half. It's fantastic.
Some good screaming.
Yeah, Josh is like,
It's
oh
a-
my God.
It's a good death. It's a
Josh,
good
yeah.
death.
Josh is going, that's a bad way to go, Dad. That's a bad way to go. I was like,
What
yeah.
about all the meat in the shark's teeth?
That
Yes.
was Quint. That was leftover
Yeah.
meat. Quint wasn't it?
It was
Yeah.
leftover Quint.
But Quint, you know, he did go all Captain Ahab, right?
He was Ahab. Yes.
Maniacal. He smashed the radio. He burnt the engines out. He just wanted to kill that shark. But also, that freaking shark wanted to take that boat down too.
Oh, yeah.
They were both.
They were
Captain-
after each other.
They were.
They were each other's white whales.
Yeah, they were. And in the end, Sharky won. But then old Scheider, Matt Gowan.
That's it. Old Chekhov's oxygen
Oh,
tank.
the Chekhov's oxygen tank.
Chekhov's oxygen
yes.
tank. Okay, look, I'm going Spielberg. I think
Oh.
that.
I thought I 100% thought you were Robert Shaw.
Oh, look, I love Robert Shaw. I think he's incredible, but it comes. The movie doesn't work without what Spielberg did.
Yep.
And Robert Shaw is incredible, and he's my favorite performance. But this makes Spielberg's career. This announces him to the world and says, I'm going to be here for the next 50 years making movies. It's incredible. Love it. The Rank Bank. Got a few things here. Just bear with me.
Yeah.
Bite radiuses. National Geographics. You'd like to get yourself into National Geographic. Boating accidents. Impossible oxygen tank explosions. Screaming, bleeding boat captains. Dog entrees.
Pippets.
Yellow blow up rafts.
God, there was some surf mat. It was
Yeah.
surf mat.
Surf
City.
mat city with
Yeah.
no surf.
Yeah.
With no surf.
God, I had a surf mat.
Half-assed fish autopsies.
And I thought,
Lunatic fishermen. Lunatic fishermen.
yeah.
Weak ass mares.
Oh God, yeah.
Mares of Shark City. Yellow barrels.
Yeah.
Fateful midnight skinny dips.
Oh, Chrissy.
Greatest movies of all time.
Ah.
And production hells.
God, it is tough.
I like that. What about certifiables?
Certifiables
He
is
was certifiable,
I
wasn't
was
he?
thinking like,
I mean, the first one, the bite radius, is probably out of
Bite
your.
radius is good.
I didn't mind, but it is a freaking tough
It's a hard one.
one. Shit.
singing conversations.
Sea shanties.
Sea shanties.
Sea shanty, yeah.
They made good, aren't they?
I
It's supposed to be the funny one.
Yeah, I don't. I can't think of anything for the shark.
Chiefies.
I'm thinking of the shit,
Chiefies.
the shitting between
Hey,
the
chiefy.
shark's teeth. But I
Quint meat.
but I don't mind the
Quint paste.
dog entrees either.
Dog entrees.
Oh look,
Yeah, dog entrees is a good one.
old Pipit. Yeah, I'm
Dog entrees it is.
Dog
I'm making
entrees,
a,
yeah, there
making
you
a
go.
call.
That'll do.
Okay, now, how many dog entrees are you giving Jaws, Matt Gowan?
5.
5. That
Yeah,
was a
no,
quick 5 too.
There is no need to go into a story about it. It's a 5 every day of the week for me. This movie is something that we grew up with that resonates through your childhood. You know, it's so well known and it just stands the test of time, even watching it again. So it's a definite 5 movie, this one.
Okay, Damien.
yeah. Look, this movie is not in my top 10. It's probably maybe in my top 20, but it's an undeniable masterpiece. It is a 5.
Oh,
5.
I love it.
Okay, well, I wrote down a couple notes here about this. I have given 6 5-star ratings on Born to Watch, and Jaws is my 7th.
Right.
I would give this 12 out of 5 if I could. This movie is that fucking good. Not only that, we don't even need to work through it, but we will, Gow.
Come on, Stephen Hawking.
I'll tell you what.
Work it out.
It's obviously it's equal first, but it's up there. I'll just name them for you. Star Wars, obviously. Goodfellas.
Yep.
Got 3 5s. Pulp Fiction got 3 5s.
Jesus.
Alien got just under 5. So it's 4.86. So it's
Yeah,
just
that's a good
there.
score.
And then LA Confidential rounds out the top there. So
Yeah.
that's interesting.
So this is the 4th 5-star movie?
4th 5-star movie.
Yeah, that's not bad. We've done 100 movies and only 4 of them, 4%.
Yep.
How quickly I did that.
Stephen Hawking
Yeah,
again.
quickly I did that.
Oh my God.
You're amazing.
Pretty good.
Incredible.
Well, I tell you what, if you loved Jaws, what are you going to love? Damo.
I did think of 2, and one was Tremors, because they're land sharks. And it's
They are.
it is there's so many similarities. And I think Tremors is an absolutely awesome movie. And then I thought of there's an old, it's not that old, it's late 90s, had Alec Baldwin and Anthony Hopkins in The Edge. They were getting attacked by a grizzly bear.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
basically, Anthony Hopkins was married to Elle McPherson,
she was.
and they had a plane crash.
Alec Baldwin
And
was
Alec-
rooting of her.
Alec Baldwin, and both of those two survived the crash, and they hated each other, but they had this bear that was basically like old Bruce here that just wanted him dead. So, and I remember it being a pretty bloody good movie.
Yeah.
The Edge.
The Edge. Yeah, okay, good call. G-Man.
The Edge.
Oh, I found one that's 2022 movie. It could be a cinematic masterpiece in the same vein as this. It's called Shark Bait.
Oh yeah, won a couple of Golden Globes.
A group of friends on vacation steal a jet ski and race out to sea, ending up in a head-on collision. They struggle to find their way home with a badly injured friend, while from the waters below, predators lurk.
Wow, shark bait. Okay.
Wow, that sounds unbelievable.
What I'm loving about what you're doing with this segment, Gow, is you're just recommending movies you've got no idea what they're like.
It's got a shark in it, though. It's got a shark in it.
I'm loving
Well,
that. I'm
the
loving
reason
that.
I did that is because there's nothing really like Jaws. I mean,
Yeah.
okay, there's other
Yeah.
predator movies and there's other animal.
Other
I
animals,
movies,
like it,
but,
Gow.
but you know, there's nothing's going to come close to Jaws. So if you like Jaws, go and watch this. Like the Edge.
Go
is
and
a
watch
good one,
Jaws.
but-
Yeah,
yeah.
well, Shark Bait.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
watch Shark Bait before Jaws too.
Really?
Oh, it just sounds brilliant. In 2022.
Okay. Look, there's been some
the
pretty
golden
good.
age.
There's been some pretty good shark movies. The Shallows isn't bad.
Yep.
And Deep Blue Sea is good fun.
Yeah. Rogue. Oh no, that's Crocodile movie.
Crocodile. And we talked about Crawl, which is another crocodile movie, but that's excellent as well. But I'm going out there. 1978.
Oh, geez.
1978's Jaws ripoff, Piranha.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
When fish-eating piranhas are accidentally released into a summer resort's rivers, the guests become their next meal.
Accidentally let these
This
piranhas out.
movie is surprisingly good. It's Roger Corman. The effects are pretty good, and not only that, they're not scared to kill kids. A lot of kids get eaten by these
Any dogs?
piranhas.
Any pippets?
I'm sure some dogs do as well. Can only hope.
I remember seeing this when I was a kid and just was so scared of it. Like these piranhas.
Yeah,
Like,
piranhas
you're
became
like,
the
"Oh my
next
God,
thing.
Yeah. I hope I never see a piranha. We heard luckily they were only they were only
yeah.
in South America or wherever.
Yeah,
so
and
you
in
were
the
fine.
Amazon.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, only the Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're such a badass fish.
Yeah. they
And
are.
once you know how you get your shark stigma from Jaws.
Yeah.
Yeah, piranhas. Holy crap, they got a name.
yeah, they did.
They did.
Like
Definitely.
when you're young, it's like, oh my god, piranhas! Like you just knew them.
Absolutely. Okay, that's it, boys. We are over the 2-hour mark, and
Jeez.
it doesn't feel it. It's a bit like the movie. I think
Mm.
we've gone longer than the movie,
Well,
quite possibly.
yeah.
We don't do that very often.
No, the movie. I think 2 hours and 3.
3?
Yeah.
So around there. Enjoyed it. 100 episodes. We should be
Oh,
proud.
hang on. Yeah,
no.
and 100
We're
episodes,
getting there.
yeah.
So 100 episodes. Now to finish
Mm.
off, Damo, you've done it again.
I have.
You baked a cake for your Greek anniversary, which was your 13th episode.
No, 18th.
18th episode.
Celebrating 18 episodes of Richard Grieco in 21 Jump Street.
That's it. So what you've
Yeah.
gone and done today is you've baked another cake for our 100th.
I have.
Talk us through it.
So basically, this cake is a Roy Scheider cake.
Right. Does
So-
it have a wonky nose?
Yeah, it has. It's basically it's like a frame from the movie. Basically,
Okay.
It's like a still.
Oh, it's a still.
It's like a still from the movie. The bit where it says you're going to need a bigger boat. It's basically that scene.
Okay.
But you know, like with Photoshop, you can get a photo and you can sort of click a button. It makes it look like a piece of art,
Yes.
like a painting.
Oh, yes.
So this is what mine looks. So it's basically like a still from the movie. And I've clicked the button and turned it into a painting. And I've used a bit of color in here, just like Claude Monet as a painter of light, as an impressionist painter. And I've used that technique. So I'll pull it out now. I'll let you
Yeah,
guys
please.
see.
Please.
This is the Roy Scheider cake, and we got the camera here too. So we can
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll take some photos of it
Put it
upstairs
on the socials.
when we go and eat it. It's looking too good to eat, to be honest.
Oh, look at that.
I've
there's
got to
Roy.
say,
That's
there is the likeness of Roy Scheider.
you're going to need a bigger boat. Is that what it says?
This is incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
That
is amazing.
Glasses and everything.
That is
It's
amazing.
Roy Scheider, and then for the camera,
That's a
there.
masterpiece.
Can
It's
I?
hard to put it on an angle, but that's what you do. That's what you call cake art.
That is cake art.
Yeah.
Cart.
cart. Yeah,
It's
and
cart.
I said I'm the Claude Manet, Monet of the, or could be Manet,
I got to say,
Edouard Manet
I gotta
of the cake art world.
what I got to say is the thing I'm most impressed about is how you've put that into the container. You've actually
Upside
put
down.
it upside
Yes,
down on the
yeah,
lid.
yeah.
That's clever. Clever.
Thank
This
you.
is why you were the hooper. This is why you're a hooper.
Yes,
This
that's
is
true.
why you're a hooper. The thinker,
Yeah.
the smart one, the
Upside
clown,
down,
and
yeah.
you know the artist.
Cake art. Yeah.
Cake art.
And I'll tell you what, it's going to be delicious. And that's for the
What
100.
is it? A vanilla sponge?
It's a vanilla cake. Yeah, it's
Okay.
vanilla, a little bit of vanilla icing, a little bit of chocolate, and but
I hope that's chocolate.
Yeah, it's a bit of raw. It was what I was scared in the movie. But
Looks a little bit like Bruce at the end of the movie.
yeah, but
Does look a
it's
little
a
bit
Roy.
like Bruce.
It's a Roy Scheider cake for the 100. 100 episodes. It deserved a Roy Scheider cake.
It
Absolutely.
definitely deserved
I don't
it.
know how many other Roy Scheider cakes have been made.
No.
None.
No,
I'm
it's
tipping
probably
none.
the best.
You're a pioneer, Damo.
Yeah, I
You're a pioneer.
Yeah, there.
All right. Well, we can sit here and admire the cake forever, but we're going to go up and destroy it quite shortly.
Yeah.
Next week, we're already
Oh,
looking to
yeah.
next week, to 101.
Jeez.
A few weeks back, I sent out to the boys. I said, "Oh, can you send me through some recommendations about some movies that we can do?" Because I wanted to get maybe a bit of a recommendation from each of the boys, so we
Yep.
could do a movie that they'd love.
Yep. Next
Next week, we're using Damo's pick.
Oh, I know what that was.
Now, might need to go and get a new fresh box of tissues.
Some lube.
You might need to block yourself in the bedroom on your own. Basic Instinct.
Oh.
Michael Douglas, Sharon Stone,
Mm.
Jean Triplehorn.
Yes.
Gene Triplehorn.
She's and you tend to forget, but she certainly gets a serving too as well.
Oh,
Of Jean.
she does.
Jeannie?
She does.
It might even be straight up the blurter. To
Oh,
be honest, I'm pretty
Triple
sure
or
it is.
not? Yeah,
I think it's
maybe.
blurter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Old Nick, is it Nick Cullen? I think he's Nick. No, it's
Curran.
Nick. It's Curran.
Curran.
Nick Curran.
Curran.
Yeah, and whatever her name is, it's regardless.
Oh my God.
Nice beaver.
Yes. Sharon Stone. Anyway. Oh my God.
Incredible movie.
Yeah.
It's our first psychosexual thriller
Yeah.
here on Born to Watch. We
be
look
good.
forward to unpacking it. Damo, you'll be doing the kick-ass credit song for this.
Catherine Trammell.
Catherine Trammell.
Yeah.
There we go. Geez, you pulled that one deep.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. She's in the bank, isn't she, though?
Her and Roxy.
That's yeah,
They're
that's
my
in the
favourite
dunny.
scenes.
Her and Roxy in the dunny.
Yeah.
Look, I've not seen Basic Instinct for a long time.
Neither have I.
I'm talking probably, I'd say 15 years.
Yeah,
long
probably
time.
the same.
And I reckon I've only seen this movie a handful of times.
Oh, overs and unders.
I think overs and unders will be interesting.
How many times used?
Oh, a
two
few.
different-
More, well, let's do overs and
More than seen.
we'll do overs and unders of the movie and overs and unders of used. And we'll see. So one might be like 3 to 5, and one might be like 70 to 90.
Yeah.
And actually might be it might be a time where you win.
Yep.
Yeah, no argument there from Damo. It's been a pleasure, gentlemen. It's been a joy spending 100 episodes with each of you. I have a lot of fun doing this, and I get bagged out that especially by Morgs, that this is my passion. But I do love this. It's fun. I get to. It's more about talking shit with two good mates on the couch here, and if the fact that we talked about movies that we like is only secondary, I enjoy it every week. Thank you for being a part of it. Couldn't be done without both of you. And next week, let's prep.
I'm on kick-ass, I'm sure.
You are kick-ass,
Yeah, okay.
without a doubt. Your suggestion, your recommendation.
Oh, there's some
Your
material in
kick-ass.
this
I'll
one.
tell you what, there's something around the pick, like the ice pick. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
no,
yeah.
there's way more.
Yeah.
Damo, I think Damo,
Yeah, you know me.
go.
Yeah.
Just let yourself off the leash.
Yep.
Rick's leash. And use your particular set of skills
Mm.
and bring us something special.
Yep.
On that note, people, thank you. We'll see you next week for 101. G-Man, thank you.
See ya.
All right.
Damo, well done.
Thanks. Let's hit the showers.
Till next week. Bye for now.
Who's got the soap?